Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to this Sunday show on the Making 'em Think podcast. This afternoon, we are finishing up, completing part 2 of the difference between polygamy and the life of swingers. Today we have our guest host, Miss Toya Super Soaker Jones, in the building. We have her husband, Mr. Tony Maestro, in the building, and we have Miss LaToya Fears in the building, and of course the man who makes us all shake our head at everything that comes out of his mouth, Mr. Al Van de Handley.
What up, though?
Hey, Mr. Al. And then of course we have the #1 podcast show in the city of Detroit, recognized in museums and the whole nine. I love it. We have Mr. Mark DeAndre.
What's happening?
Hey, of 7 Mile Radio. Oh, guys, I am so excited this afternoon, guys, to get back into this. Last show, I mean, we had a highly demand for part 2. And today's show will be even more interesting because we actually have a couple who lives the life of, is it okay?
Yeah.
Swingers, and we're gonna, get a lot of insight from these guys about, how they came to be. Well, you kind of summed that up for us last week,
Yeah.
but now that you guys are in it and living the life of it, like how that goes. Rules, regulations, policies, procedures, whatever you want to call,
contracts,
whatever exactly. And Mr. Al had filled out an application. I don't know if the application was submitted for the. It got approved. It got approved. Okay, all right. We got the toes.
OJT.
Oh, okay.
On the job
training.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So there's still a process after the process.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Yes. Yes. And to start off today and finish off where we had my cousin Connie call in, and Connie was asking about in the marriage portion of being swingers.
Right.
How is it that a couple can swing but still have that agreement of marriage and you for me and me for you? And
I didn't know that was your cousin.
yeah, that was my cousin. Yeah, but the thing about it, your answer was awesome. You know what I'm saying? It really clarified, because love is love, and this is what we define our love as. You know what I'm saying?
As individuals, everybody has certain levels of what they can deal with, what what they can take.
Yeah.
That's why first and foremost, out of everything that we do, and it should be this should apply to anything, whether it's swinging, poly, whatever it is that you do in life. Communication, first and foremost, is the key to understanding everything. That gives you the opportunity to put it out on the floor, how you feel. A lot of people, and it's real sad how in communicating, people actually don't put it out there 100% about how they feel. They're so worried about hurting somebody's feelings, until they hold back a little bit. And that's the wrong part about communicating. You got to put everything out there on the floor. And once you get it out there and have a complete understanding, even when it's the shit you don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put it out there on the floor, and even the things that we don't want, as far as the answer is concerned, we may not want to know what the real answer is. Oh, he gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? And typically, you don't know that.
Yeah. You
gotta give a person an opportunity to say yes before you can assume that they'll say no.
I see.
And so, with that said, communication is everything. And me and my husband, we had this conversation when we first met, hey, this is what we do, this is how we doing it, and
okay, time out.
What's up?
Tell the truth.
What's up?
You told your husband, this is what I do, and I ain't changing it.
Hold on, though. But I met him in this environment as well.
That was going to be my question.
I met him, and he, like I said, he was on a different level with it from me. He was actually what I consider living the freak group lifestyle. which I don't agree with.
Okay. And can we pause on that really quickly?
Yep.
Tony, if you will, what is the freak group? Like, what was your involvement in that, and what did that consist of that made the wifey say, look, I don't do all that, nah. Like, what was the freak group life that you were in when you guys met?
Well, her definition.
I love it. Heard that.
Right, look, I caught that too.
We clocked that, just so
Caught
you know.
that, yeah.
There's still some animosity about
you.
that.
Do you, boy?
Let's correct her.
Her definition and my definition often are on two separate pages. For me, the biggest difference is simply that in the freak groups, it's not as detailed. It's not as structured. You're still in a place, in a building, an environment with like-minded individuals, because at the end of the day, they come there for at least the opportunity to make something happen.
Oh, so in the freak world, there's no coming just to view. Like, you coming to get physical somehow.
Well, you can come and you can view, because everything, even in that spectrum, is not always geared towards something physical. You
Okay.
know, they have meet and greets, or just nights that they just, it's like Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody know your name. And so,
Or your dick.
well, hopefully not that.
Yeah, if everybody knows your dick, it might be a problem. But
Yeah,
I digress.
I think
Hopefully
Al
not
is
that.
referring
Sorry,
to
I'm silly.
No, but I think Al is
but I do
referring to being
understand.
in that world, that lifestyle.
I mean,
Like,
well,
we know you from this.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
That Negro got talent.
So it's still, there's still rules,
Okay.
You can't just, walk up to somebody and grope them or grab them and grab
The
them by
selection
head
is
and,
way different for me, though.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And see, that's what I want to understand. I want to,
It's no class in a freak group to me, period. There's no class.
Again,
when
no,
you
wait
say
a minute.
class-
Hold up. Maestro's in the
again-
room now.
but again,
give him his
that's-
space.
that's
That's her
to her.
definition, right?
to her, that's her perspective, and she's entitled to, feel the way.
Okay.
Because for all intent and purposes, everything in the swingers world ain't all of that.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, it's but we don't.
I am so thankful that you were here.
We don't
You got a
discriminate.
friend.
No, because you literally are having two different
Yes.
views
Yes.
on the same
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
interesting
And
to
then
me.
you know what else makes it interesting too, that they have the different group of views on the same group, but this still works. You know what I'm saying? That's
We
what
really
I
don't know
admire
it works,
about it.
though. We ain't seen him work.
It
Oh, how
works.
long y'all been married?
We'll be married 6 years on the 25th.
That's what I'm saying.
But we've
as
been
far as
together
like that.
We've been together 10 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's working. That's what I mean.
It's working. Okay.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
And just to cap it all off, we're happy.
7
In my opinion.
That's it. That's
in
what
my
I mean.
opinion.
That's what I mean.
Well, if Mama's happy,
I'm
everybody.
sorry. Oh, we going on 7?
7 years.
Damn. Okay, I gotta wake up.
That first year, no,
Get
that
me
first
together.
year.
She talking about I'm happy.
He had
She
you
said
in
7
bliss.
years. Look,
That
he's
first
happy.
year, he had you in bliss.
Calendar, girl. You forget again.
Right.
But yeah, I'm truly happy within
Yeah.
my marriage. I'm truly happy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I love it. And when you say that there's no like class, are you referring to like the respectability level of it, or like there's no class, like there's just like living classes? These people are kind of ghetto. These people, are
Yeah,
kinda
like
classy,
that.
These
You
people,
know, we all have the ghetto in us. You know what I'm saying? Even in the swingers world or whatever, because we're behind closed doors, so we can be whatever we want to be. That some people may not be able to express outside. But at the end of the day, it's just a different standard. It's different kind of structure.
So when we're talking about class, and this is interesting because I have a friend who is a swinger, but now you also have a racial class because swinging in Detroit is completely different than swinging in the suburbs, from what I've been told. Is there some truth to that?
That's
or?
what I meant by the class level.
No,
Like
it's not
What she
different.
means by
Because you
class,
say
I believe,
some-
is respect. Like, it ain't no, like, we got the freak groups is maybe more ratchet.
Yes.
No, that's what I
Yes.
meant. But that's what I
As
said. The
opposed
respect,
to the
the
swingers
class.
is more of an upper class level
Yeah,
of that
like
type
I
of a
swing.
lifestyle.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of particular
Yeah.
with what I
and
do.
like I said, when you go to a swingers event, a real true swingers event, you're gonna sign a waiver. It's like you got to shut your whole fucking mouth about what go on up in there.
So
Because
You
there's
might
a
find your
policy
nieces and nephews and
procedure.
little cousins at the freak
Listen.
party.
No.
Exactly.
Your public defender, your judges is what you gonna find up in there.
I said the freak party.
at the
I ain't
free
say
party,
that.
your nieces and nephews, he is
I
he
know
hit
what
that
I'm
shit on the
talking about.
nose. You know, but when you go to a
so-
swingers party, you're gonna see preachers, judges.
See, that's what you talking
Hold
about.
on.
The swingers party. We talking about
Yeah,
the freak parties in the
yeah.
hood
Right.
type shit. Russell Bazaar and shit. You know what I mean?
What is that?
Oh my God, I didn't say that.
He calling
I
names
looked
out,
in the
y'all.
motherfucking camera. I didn't say that.
What you know about Russell Bazaar?
Oh, that's
I know a little bit about everything.
but
I
that's
know
where
a little bit about
he
everything.
that's where he derived from.
It's a freak house.
No, it's just a warehouse.
It's a warehouse.
That they do.
I actually had
They
fun
have
in
different
there.
events inside the warehouse.
I had fun in there when I went, but I just don't engage.
The
in
last
there.
experience that I told y'all about when I had the girl where I was with her and she
Oh, is
wanted
that
to
where
go.
you
That's
were?
where, and I'm
Oh,
like, and I'm like,
wow.
wait, that's not this probably not where you want to go. You a freak, but this ain't your environment.
Right,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Like,
But
these
that-
real-
this
these
is-
freaks will show
it's
you
not- no,
you
it's-
ain't a
it's
freak.
Because, no, it's not that. It's because motherfuckers was disrespectful, and that's exactly what happened when I went in. The second I turned my head, somebody was pulling her fucking hair, and she about to fight a motherfucker.
Bingo. Okay, so now he just touched on basically
He
when
hit
I'm
it. He
talking
didn't
about,
touch on it. He took the hammer and
you
slammed
know,
the nail
because
down.
ain't no way no shit like that gonna happen when you stepping into a real swingers environment. There's
Maestro
a
over
different
there is just
level.
reminiscing.
It's a different
He's
level
just
of respect.
reminiscing about yesterday.
Tony, do
listening.
you agree?
I'm just listening.
That's where he
As far as
derives
the
from.
oh, so you don't think so? As far as what they
See, I
describe?
can handle myself.
well-
oh, go ahead.
In my tenure there, I never had or encountered anything. The group that I was with was, even in that world, was still a set above some of the other groups that we know of. So that doesn't happen in my facility.
Okay. Okay.
So now I have a question for you, Mr. Maestro. How did you originally walk into this lifestyle? Let's go back. I'm just curious because I mean, most of us go our entire life not knowing that there is a word for poly, not knowing that there's a way that you can walk into and say.
Because I had a question for you coming up too after that.
So I got into it through a very, 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 very close friend of mine,
male or female.
male.
Okay.
And when I say close, I mean close, like down here.
David and Jonathan. Got it.
Close. And I noticed, like, all of a sudden, over a period of, let's say about 3 to 6 months, every particular night of the week,
Third Saturday.
he
Free
would-
Friday. Go ahead. Let's go.
He would disappear.
Gone.
You know.
Come back time.
And I'm like, you know, so finally I say, bro, where you be going? Such.
Because we close.
Cause we tight.
Close. I see. You
know.
ain't ready to play basketball
And
tomorrow or
so
nothing.
he was like, man, this little club I got in, man. You know, this and
Little
blah, blah,
club,
blah.
huh?
I'm like, okay.
Little club, I got
So innocent.
Right.
I saw the
so-
halo come over. This is
So I was
the-
like, you know, okay, well, nigga, what's up?
you didn't invite me up.
Like, how
Right,
you?
let me
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, I don't care what we was doing, what we had planned, or whatever the case may be. Hey, at this time on that day, boom, he gone. I mean, we be somewhere and look up and he gone. I'm like, you know, so
He
after
had
it happened
joined
a
the
few
church.
times, you know. So
We're
anyway,
going to go pray.
long story
We
short.
going to hell.
Long story short, you know, because I was on his head about it. I'm like, okay, nigga, look, okay. Then he actually told me what was going on, and I really got him. Then, like, so for real?
Wait.
He's like,
No. What did he tell you?
You know, well, he expressed to me that he was in this group, and in this group that they did certain things, and this was their clubhouse, and so
Certain
on and so
things,
forth.
meaning
You know, we at a place where we can talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
we're trying to educate the populace here.
Right.
well, okay, let me just tell you how I got in it first. Then we can
That's-
come back to
okay.
whatever questions you have. Okay, so once he opened the door and let me know what was going on, then I was really on his head, like, I actually had an attitude. Like,
Yeah, I would
so
too.
Like, you just
You getting it
just
sucked
skipping
and
all this,
all of
you
that,
know?
and you didn't tell a brother. Okay.
And so anyway, they had this event. They have what, even in the swingers world, they have what is called
Meet
theme
and greet.
parties. No, not the
Theme.
meet. They have theme
Yep.
Theme party.
events.
Okay.
Now the themed events, you can only get in if someone brings you in, you know, or if you're already in. You can't just walk up off the street on those, or you know. And so they had this themed event. So he was like, "All right, dog, look, we're doing this event. Blah 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 blah. Let's go." Boom. I get there.
Okay,
I walk in.
pick me.
Pick you. Yeah,
You
for
pick
sure.
me. Okay, so did you realize how expensive it would be to go into that themed event when he invited you?
Was it expensive?
Well, I
What
didn't.
makes
I didn't
you
have
think
to.
it's
I didn't have to
expensive?
worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
At that time, I didn't have to worry about it because by the time he brought me in, he was already at a certain level within the group. He had made a status quo within the group.
So he didn't have to pay?
No.
He had
And so
a hookup.
A lot of people don't understand how expensive
it's
these lifestyles
it's
are.
Oh,
very
wow.
expensive. Very
Okay.
expensive. So anyway, that was my introduction into it. And so once I got in, I bobbed and weaved and made my own, moves. I just
weave.
needed.
Good choice of
I
words.
just,
So
I
now I
just-
know we
I
get that
just-
tongue action from.
I just needed
What
to
were
get
your
in.
feelings? So, like, describe your feelings of
When you
first
first
When I
saw
first
it,
walked in,
yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
wow, for real. Because you got rooms that's set up, for play.
With beds.
And and then you got social rooms and you got lounges and everything. So it was very well, set up.
Perceived. And so when bouncing off of Toya's question, like when you first went there, like your feelings about being in there, you felt like you were walking into an environment where, oh yeah, I can get down, or were you in there like, oh wait a minute, let me look and see what's going on?
I mean, well, initially,
We're
I
talking
just
about Mr. Maestro here. though.
initially I just observed because I didn't know, I didn't really understand, how everything worked, So I just kind of shadowed him, for the night. And because again, by this time he's, I ain't gonna say the man, but he was very well known. He was very popular by this time.
Did he go over the rules with you before you went?
He did not. And
Okay.
that was another thing. But I'm with him, so I'm just following his lead. So I know he ain't gonna walk me into some other.
So he'd
not
go,
take
he'd go
care
like,
of me.
hey, no.
If I did something
Gotcha.
that I shouldn't be doing, And so
And we are going to go over the rules, by
yeah,
the way. just so you
and
know.
so and obviously with that being my first time, I mean I'm a nice guy, so I just kind of sat back.
My
and,
best friend.
watched
We
how
go
it
back
go.
3-4 minutes. Yeah.
So now afterwards,
him.
like over the next couple of days, then I had questions
You
like,
get on
well,
my nerves.
I saw,
On my
such and
absolute
such,
nerves.
well, how this work, so I'm asking them.
So the
questions.
such and such and such and such was what? What did you see?
I mean, it was like
like
some
a
shit out the movie.
Kid in the
man.
damn candy
store,
store. and
ain't
shit.
he though? Like,
But you know what though?
And so
Him and his friend are such, well, God rest his soul. They are such gentlemen. They are such gentlemen, even not being married. You know what I'm saying? Such total gentlemen that them two particularly probably would have a different approach than
The average nigga just going
come
Somebody
in.
like me, okay.
Because
I,
they
stop
would,
it, Al.
they would never
laugh
be
at
the
him,
ones
Mark.
Different
to
approach,
step
like-
out of a line, step out of line.
Because honestly, for somebody like me to be introduced into that world, like, and call myself getting ready to participate in it, I would really so hope that the men who are there
Yes.
would be respectable, would be, because
Because they can make or break the
my
experience.
decision,
Yes.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying, So, and then being able to read energy, I'm assuming would also be important too, because I can be faking like I ain't nervous, but
Yeah.
oh, please let somebody who come over to me understand. I'm scared as hell in here. I'm just really trying to. I would prefer a
But
man
would you
who
be
had
scared
come
after your third orgasm, though? I'm just curious.
No, I would have to get to my first, to
Okay.
understand that I wasn't scared. But you know what I'm saying. But my point of
But
that
here's
is,
the thing. It happens after the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, though, because you literally, next thing you know, it's a very liquid, not that, I mean, here we have the professionals, so they could tell us.
Oh, wait. Listen here. There's no need, whatever, and that's another thing. Part of the more structured environment of swinging is to ease all that tension, to ease your fear of your surrounding. And so another thing I've noticed that they do differently in the swingers group as opposed to a freak group is try their best to make you feel as comfortable as possible without invading your personal space or making you feel like you have
Like
to
you
do
here,
anything.
come on.
Yeah,
Right.
ain't none of that shit up in there.
Yeah.
We don't play that.
Yeah.
You get kicked out for that.
The rules from day one, from the second you walk in to talk to the first person, they will look at you and they say nothing can go on without your permission. Not one thing. They can't even say hello to you without your permission, practically.
oh wow,
And they give that to you right when you walk in, before you pay anything.
So they have a form of kind of making you feel comfortable too when you first come in. Like,
and I
look,
think
this is
to
this.
me that would be the difference between a swingers club
And the
a
free
free
group.
club.
Okay.
Because a free group, you know, right? You hear, you know it. It is what it is. Whereas it's very structured. You have security. You got people with spray bottles.
I disagree.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk to
But
me.
I can only speak from the group that I was.
Spray
in.
Which is
bottles.
why you're here.
Yeah.
Spray bottles. We can talk
Spray
about
bottles.
that.
What is that?
Disinfectant.
Okay.
Lysol.
Okay.
No, they got bleach. The place smells like
Ammonia.
like coochie and bleach.
Right. That's my expression. I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at you like.
So I mean everything. So when we talk about the beds they don't got sheets. They got vinyl.
Okay.
It's a black vinyl kind of situation. So when you're done, there's actually a crew, someone that's going to go out
wipe it.
and wipe it down
Yes, ma'am.
and get it ready for the
Oh,
next
so
person.
those were kind of like the beds, and excuse me, I went to jail one time not too long ago. But they had those kind of like vinyl-like beds. I'm assuming they was vinyl.
The one that
these
you went to,
little
because I went to jail
pads.
too.
Yeah,
a
I
couple
was
of
down
times.
there. Yeah,
It's gray. This ones are black.
yeah, these were beige, and then they had sprayed them. And
Well, when
wiped
I went to
them
jail, I
down.
slept on brick.
Man, what you want, Tijuana? Jeez.
I was on bricks. Shit.
They had you in the suicide cell. I know about that.
We'll change that quickly.
Shit.
Hers were, Maestro's were rubber. They was covered in plastic.
You must have went to jail in Macomb
back
County.
to Maestro. I want to hear his take. I want to hear more about, because we got Toya's take last time. So I want to hear more about your first experience and how you feel about it.
And I'm
was
too
pissed.
sure. And then Al too. I want Maestro to give us as much information as he possibly can without the interruption of questions. But at the same
got
time,
questions.
look, that's because I
want
want to
advice.
ask. I want to ask you something like after he explains everything. Like, what's your different view on the polygamy and versus what
Mr.
which would
Maestro's
you
gonna
prefer?
like me. He ain't gonna like me after that.
Like, which would you prefer to do? But we're gonna wait.
Okay,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
wait.
wait. Go ahead,
Maestro, if you would.
Okay.
I prefer Maestro. I hope you don't mind me calling you by your street name.
That's what
Oh, what do you
call 'em.
prefer? Oh, good, because I'm
Everybody
just saying
call 'em that.
Maestro. Yeah, I should have asked.
Look,
for
he
it.
looks
Right,
like a
right.
maestro. So.
All right.
Well, because you don't want to call him Maestro, right? Because he's controlling everything.
Get her, babe.
He's controlling.
Get her.
Oh, she ain't wearing no bra? Okay, now.
Hey, stop! Ow!
Oh, she just trying to look.
Look.
Now,
It is. She gonna cover the little nipples.
right,
baby.
because Al just
I mean,
remembered.
I noticed that as soon as she walked in. That was instant. Like,
It was the white
it was
beard.
a zone.
It was.
It zoned in.
Okay, Maestro. Now that we got it handled, let's go.
Okay. So now where
Where
were
is the fan? Because it is hot in here.
I thought it was cold based on the nipples, but okay.
I can't. You know what, Maestro? Please.
Yes. So-
Thank you.
in going into it, and I will have to backtrack because initially, once I did get a chance to really talk to him about it, I was coming out of my marriage at the time. So
Were you
he didn't-
monogamous in your marriage, if you don't mind me asking?
I was horrible in my marriage.
Okay.
Okay.
Told
The
y'all.
truth be
And
told.
so he waited until after that to introduce me into that world.
Okay.
And so after we, really sat down and talked about it, then I understood, and I couldn't do anything but have respect for him at that point, even on a different level, because I didn't see it that way, because I was so
You was
horrible.
pissed.
I was so horrible in my marriage.
Right.
I'm just like, nigga, why you holding out on me? What's
Right.
we
I'm
don't do
doing my
that.
thing anyway.
And so once all of that was, entering to disbursement, then he was like, okay, now we can do this. And then, so that's how it all got started. My first event, again, I was really just an observer because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what not to expect. It was a whole new something for me. The first event that I went to that I actually participated in.
Meaning did it. He had sex.
Oh, we understand the participation.
Yes.
We got that.
Yes.
We wanted the play-by-play when he first started. We got that.
Yeah. So, and this was like, because the events are they're periodic. They're not every month, they're not every week. They just, they pick a certain, boom, we're going to do this event. It may be a camouflage party. It may be a,
So the G-string is
smoking
made out of
jacket
camouflage.
and everything, hey, whatever your imagination is or whatever you come up with.
Yep.
That's what it is. And so my first experience with that was a little different because I'm still kind of new, you know. So the women are kind of reserved.
Now, let's talk about the women for a second.
Okay.
Because it's been my experience that a lot of the women are somewhat overweight.
It's been my experience that a lot of the women are overweight on both sides.
60,
Nah,
70%.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Let's keep it 100,
I
right?
wasn't gonna bring that up.
Wait a minute,
'cause-
listen though. But listen, it doesn't matter though because true is the saying. There's somebody for everybody. You know, the problem or the situation with that is the low self-esteem of those individual women. See, this is the place where they can come and just,
Beat themselves.
you know,
Them be the ones
You know,
typically walking around
and
naked
so-
all night.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, the self-esteem ain't too low.
Yeah, well,
Only in there.
But that's the environment. See,
But see,
there
this-
they can kind of bring it down.
Listen, I'm about to say, and I learned real quick, like, you know, I always wonder, like, why do the beautiful women be so self-conscious, right? And then the ones that don't be, like, put together like that be all out. It's not because they have confidence, it's because they lack so much confidence and they
Yes.
just don't give a fuck.
That too.
That's what it is. They
Yeah.
just all like, they have none.
Yeah.
No dignity,
they've
no
reached-
confidence,
they've
no
reached-
respect. They
they've
reach
reached a
rock
place
bottom.
where,
And they
hey.
just, and whatever you say to them doesn't matter because
And they're the easiest ass to
can-
get in
and
there.
it's nothing
Actually-
you can say to me make me feel bad worse than what I felt already about myself.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna be all out.
Exactly.
How about
I'm at rock
that?
bottom. It ain't.
Exactly.
It's not the peak of confidence you see.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
I'm
lack
thinking
of
like,
confidence.
ooh, now that
and the,
is
and the pretty
confidence.
girls and shit, you be like, why are they so self-conscious? Because they know they look good and they worried about looking good at every angle all the time. So
Yeah.
they self-conscious about everything. Like, oh, how do I look here? I gotta
Yeah.
excuse the dirt on my shirt. Like, who gives a fuck? We're looking at the titty. Fuck the dirt on your shirt. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't have no confidence at all.
That's
And they're typically the ones who
who get
the
it.
unspoken easy
Who's
in
typical?
there.
The
The
big
bigger
girls?
girls are the ones typically are the ones that's in there getting down because they may not be able to get that outside of that environment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an
It is
interesting
very much so.
take.
Yeah, because I'm over here like, oh wow.
Almost like
I
you know
think
what I'm
I think
talking
that's
about.
why the no knock to nobody, but I think that's why the LGBT community is flourishing so quick, so like it is because this is
being
just people.
accepting.
This are people that they are so sexual and so freaky that they don't really care who they do it to. Just anybody that'll
Yeah.
do it to them, they'll do it to. You know what I mean? And then some of them are so socially awkward that they can't really attract the people that they really genuinely like.
But you know what? Honestly, if I beg to differ, I've heard.
I said
the
some. I ain't
No,
say
no,
all.
I got you. But what I'm saying, I've heard a large majority of the LBGT community say, "Don't come over here." Cause you know what I'm saying.
Well,
you
that's,
know, we
that's,
are
that's
like
the
we
narrative.
have our.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I
You
don't
know
know
what
about you, but every gay man I know is fine as hell. Like I'm looking at Richard, man, you look good, and I'm straight, but you look good because he's clean
I
from the
didn't
top to
say
the
all.
bottom.
I didn't say I ain't making blanket
But so,
statements.
or
as
were
to say
you
that,
saying more so like the heavier people and the?
Well, that I just see that as well. Okay, I say it like this: it's just trending. It's just a lot of people live that lifestyle because it's the trend, not just because they really
They're dealing
wired
and
like that.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's the only thing I don't agree about it when it comes to that community for the people who get in just because you don't feel you have a chance in a heterosexual. So you're not even dealing with what these people really deal with as
Right.
far as their sexuality.
Yep.
Like some of these people really
They're doing it for all the wrong reasons.
you're doing it for the you're
Yeah.
not you're not let these people have their you know what I'm saying
Right.
and you're over here because you can't get stabbed in the regular community so you figure that you come
no,
over
no,
here
no.
So when we do
You know what I
Ain't
mean.
nobody stabbing me with nothing.
I can't
no.
take it.
When we talk about
no.
doing things for the wrong reason, is there a wrong reason in the polygamy world? Is there a wrong reason
In
to
the polygamy
become
or the
a
swinger world?
polygamist or
I mean,
or swinger
Well,
world?
at the end of the day, there's a wrong reason for everything.
Man, I like Mr. Maestro.
And, you know, you got a right reason, you got a wrong reason. They come, you know, hand in hand. The problem comes in when you don't understand the reason, because you got to pick a side.
Okay.
You gotta do it for this reason, or you gotta do it for that.
Right,
reason.
I got moist.
So
Me too.
to
super soaker
To say
that's
that
how
there's
you
a-
got there
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
get my
halfway
sound
there.
effects quick enough
Towel,
on that.
just
somebody.
say
Give
to
me
say
a
that there's
towel.
a particular right reason and a particular wrong reason, I don't know.
That's
How you-
That seemed like that would be an
subjective.
individual
Yeah, that's
basis,
subjective,
yeah,
you know
as
what I
to
mean?
why.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't-
I
that's-
agree.
you
Yeah.
can't-
Just
I
like
agree.
some people may not agree with what we do, so to them it's wrong.
It's a wrong
Yeah.
reason.
You know,
right?
but to me it's fucking right. You
That's
know
what I
I'm
said
saying?
last,
Whatever.
last week about y'all situation. It's like the terms and conditions of y'all relationship can't be applied to nobody else because that might not be what's right for them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Well,
that's
for
just the
me-
bottom line to it.
For
That
me-
goes back to Connie's question. Remember, that's the topic we were on when Connie asked that question,
You
and
know
that's
what?
what you said
The wrong.
last week. Yeah.
Now that I think about your question, Toya, the wrong in people doing on my end the swinging part, but still going out cheating, that is some wrong shit to me. You know what I'm saying? You still have
And
people.
what would be the reason to?
I know it's so dumb.
would be the
You know what
reason?
though? The funny part is, and it's not just men, because I know a lot of women who do it too.
And step
It is
out
just
still.
dumb as hell to me. Like, what are you calling yourself a swinger for if you still gonna go out and cheat? That's like wrong on every level. So they shouldn't be in the swingers world. You know what I'm saying?
You just want to kick them out. huh? Just-
Yes,
Here's
get
your,
the fuck out.
here's your pink notice.
Yeah,
That
get the
was
fuck
kinda what
out.
my question was,
I'm in
like-
here because I'm honest. I want to be honest. I want to have this honesty. I want to be around like-minded individuals. But at the end of the day, you tricking every fucking body.
Well, see,
you don't belong in
You
here.
have to get to a place where you're comfortable and satisfied within yourself to not be able to have something that you want.
But Mr. Maestro, and here's the issue that I have, because a lot of people would have the misconception that people that belong in these various different lifestyles are nymphomaniacs. They'll never be satisfied.
Well, to some degree, that is correct.
Okay.
To some degree. However, you have some people that's not swingers or part of the lifestyle that also share in that same sentiment.
They nymphos.
Are they sharing because
Which
they're
is
not
why
knowing
you
that
have a
there's other
relationship
Well,
with a
types of
man.
lifestyles?
Well, when I
like-
say share, I mean they have that same issue.
Right, but I'm saying to you, do you believe, as a swinger, that it's simply because they're not aware of these various different lifestyles?
Well, I think
that you
that
can be
to-
a swinger, that you can talk to your partner and say,
You can
listen,
feed that need.
yes, satisfy
Well,
what you
okay.
what that
In
need
a-
is.
in
And which is why we have the platform that we have right here, right now,
Exactly.
to educate. Because a lot of people don't know. Some do know, but they don't understand. Some don't understand because they don't really have somebody to explain it to.
They ain't got that friend
Yeah.
that we ain't gonna say is
They
that.
don't that right that
God
connection.
rest his soul.
And so, even with my wife, right,
Oh, it's gonna get good.
how she feels about the difference between swinger groups and free groups. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with her because that's where I started. So I'm partial to that.
You have
because
different experiences.
and I didn't have that experience.
But he also has a different experience
I didn't
coming
have
from a
that
male's perspective.
experience of the things that she experienced with that environment. So I can't look at it from that perspective. Now, I will say this.
That breath that she was taking is because she wanted something to say.
Yeah,
I do,
got it.
and I know he knows it. I'm
Now-
gonna go when he
Now,
give me my
the
moment.
other thing is,
I love that.
I welcomed her input though, because then I got a chance to see it from her perspective. So I get both sides. So now I get to pick and choose which side of the track I want to ride on. Well, I'm gonna ride with my wife
Absolutely.
because, as I stated last week, I can do more with her in
Yeah.
this world than without
Without
her.
her, yeah.
Which goes back to the ones that's in this world and still decide to cheat.
Baby,
Which
that's some
goes
grown
back
man
to
stuff out there.
my comment about being mature enough to look at something, say that you want it, think that you want it, but then when I come to my wife with it and she be like, "Nah, babe, that ain't," well then it stops. It has to stop
I
there.
love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Now, for me to go behind her back after I've talked to her about it, well, now I'm just opening the door for trouble in my world, and I didn't.
We don't do that.
Because I've lived that life in my previous marriages. This is my third marriage. I don't want that anymore.
And last,
Is this the first marriage that you've had, but you've been able to be who you are?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, for the first time in my relationship life, I'm at a level that I never even thought I could get to.
Honesty.
Oh, I love it.
Living that honesty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so
You got to clap.
Yeah, that's
So it's just, you know, and I share this with my dogs, my boys, you know, those that know me, you know.
Ooh, that just opened up
and
a
all of
whole
that.
different ball of wax.
You know what I'm
right
saying?
there.
Because right now, everything that I did with them as relates to the opposite sex, I do with her now. This is my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So when we hang out and different things like that, I mean, I see something that I like, I'd be like, hey, that's
Can I ask a
Listen.
question about that part? About, you know, people that know you, right?
Well, now it's all in Detroit. 6,328 subscribers.
Have you ever severed relationships because they don't agree with the lifestyle that you guys have?
You mean friendships, like
Relationships,
yeah.
friendships, yeah.
anything?
With
With
okay.
other,
So for me, you know, it just is what it is. I'll be 46 years old in November.
She looks 23.
I don't. Okay, thank you. I don't
Now
discuss
he look 46.
details, but my lifestyle is not a secret to, especially like let's just say my immediate family. I got 5 sisters, a mother and daddy. They know what we do.
okay.
We don't discuss details. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But far as severing friendships or relationships, I haven't had that issue.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you know, long as me and my husband have an understanding, people don't have to agree with
I'm gonna
what it is that we
disagree
do.
with you. I think you have had that issue, you just didn't see it. And let me say why. Because the second that a gentleman or a woman chose to disrespect your relationship, in order for it to last this long, they get cut off.
Well,
I mean, we've had that. We've had to do that.
And I think that's important for people to understand.
Okay, but
the
not-
reason why it works is because you
But
you
not
know the
because,
rules.
but not because it was some, not because it was it was a situation where someone tried to backdoor us. It was just because we saw where it could go
Okay.
and how it could get that way.
And,
so
and there
we
go
had
the
to-
rules.
but
of the
we've
game.
never really
Yes.
cut nobody off.
Yeah.
We haven't cut anybody off. We
Right.
we
We
may
just-
distance.
Yes.
We may we remain cordial at the end of the day, but our bond is so solid. People already know not to come for us in any kind of way.
And I think
That's
that's
it.
They
important for
back
people to
down.
My
understand
husband
that.
and I, we had that.
They
yeah.
back down
Yeah.
before they even
Don't
approach us in the
even.
wrong
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
When you're in the poly world and you tell someone that you're poly and they're like, well, literally it comes around, I can't do nothing with you because you don't understand who I am. I don't want to go back to that old lifestyle where I know I'm going to cheat on your ass. I know because
But you know what? Everything ain't meant to be understood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you can move past that, and still continue a friendship or a relationship with someone without that understanding. It's not meant. If you for me, you for me. Whether it be a friend, you know, a family member. If you gonna be down for me, because typically anybody
I
who
shouldn't
hangs
have to
around,
force you into.
Okay.
Into the, you know what I mean?
Either you
But
understand me
how
or
many
you
people
don't.
are getting forced into monogamy unbeknownst to the fact that there's swingers and there's poly out there, though?
A lot.
That's the challenge that I have. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You do realize I had a conversation earlier about somebody that was saying, hey, you know what? He keeps cheating on me. Then why not just have a conversation about being poly? Because if he keeps cheating on you, you're poly. You're just not knowing it.
Yeah.
But now that you know it,
and you're not going anywhere.
work with it. Work
No, and
with
see,
it.
that is the key. When you know that that's what it is that he's doing, and you can call him this time, that time, them other times, all them other times over there, and then them other
And you
times
still
back
keep
Let's
here.
not forget that one
And
time.
you're exactly, and you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
That is when I agree with the fact that you're pretty much you are in a poly.
But
I
now
mean,
this is where you're not in a poly, because in a poly relationship you're taking your sexual health very serious. In a swinger relationship you're taking your sexual health real serious.
Yep.
So you're getting tested every 3 months. You're making sure that that person has proper prophylactics, all of that. You know, you're using dental dams, and most people that cheat don't even know what a dental dam is.
Okay.
Like, what is that? You know.
What about this? And he coming home fucking her raw. Then he going out cheating with her raw, right? In his mind, well, I'm safe because I'm only fucking them two and they ain't fucking nobody else. But when he go home to her, his real woman, that other girl is fucking somebody else.
how about that?
You know? And so it's not a safe environment at all.
And then sometimes, honestly, based on the kind of man that you are, it could be the side one who most faithful to you, and the one who at home is the one who's sneaking out because she knows.
You know
what I'm saying?
pH balance is all
everything.
It's just
there are things to do with the
pH balance. All
there are things that a man can do to help with the pH balance. Because I ain't getting caught for shit. No,
it's sad all the way around. But guess what though? This one here, a lot of people call it. You can call it what you want, but when you're not married, you should not. I feel like you shouldn't have to subject yourself to dating one person.
Yeah.
You know, and so at the end of the day, nobody really has no business settling down with somebody unless they decide they about to move forward with this relationship. Yeah. Nobody.
But you have the social norms of the 50s or 60s that say, you know what, if as a man, I can sleep with 15 people before I get married. As a woman, your body count has to stay under 3. And when
who told you that?
I'm just saying. No, you can't turn a housewife into a hoe and a hoe into a housewife. Yeah, all of that conversation.
I mean,
but then again, like you said, that goes back to those social norms.
50s and 60s.
I strongly
which I think is outdated.
What's good for y'all is good for us.
No, that ain't gonna.
Shit.
And why is that?
Because of the social norm. We are still in a misogynistic society, y'all. I mean, let's always keep it 100. It's okay for a man to have 6 and 7 women, but if that same woman in this norm, in this narrative, says to a man, "I have 6 or 7 men,"
she a hoe.
She's something. Jezebel, she's something. But in all actuality, she's more
a
healthy.
Man in a skirt.
She is more healthy, right, than the woman that's only had one body. Because she knows who she is. She knows who she wants. She knows how to look at a man and say, "Baby, look, I know you only got 4 inches, but I'm gonna help you work with that 4 inches because that's what it is." That's it. Now, a woman who's only had one man. That's the biggest thing she's ever had.
You're right. You're damn right.
But wait, I can tell you this though. Just because it's big don't mean I've really had an experience before. No, I'm talking about, and he was get the off of me.
Okay.
This is not pleasurable.
This
is not get off of me.
Write his name down for.
Lord.
I just want to see.
And wait, and I can say this. Now, don't get me wrong. I was younger. And don't get me wrong. My body count now, almost 50, is still low. You know, I'm still on one hand with my.
What? It's nice and tight.
I'm still on what? You know what?
Now that explains last night.
Let me see your hand.
And she let her smell them too, though, was the thing.
Well, because she wants to let it out. There's a reason why she woke up with that.
Y'all didn't see me though. I was gonna be like.
You're like, no, that is what happened. You said while you were asleep, Monique came out.
Monique came out and said, "We ain't alone, baby.
I got you.
Nobody here knows what happened.
Nobody knows. Oh my goodness.
That's such an inside.
You don't understand. I woke up this morning puzzled like on all my lip bone from the bottom of my throat.
Now, I'm about to say, now she got to explain it.
For our audience,
okay, look, this is what me and Toya went to the Kim concert last
it was
night.
nice.
Toya goes and buys us a drink. She comes back. I had Chardonnay. She bought me Chardonnay. What'd you have? Chardonnay too?
No, I had a Jameson.
Okay, so she had Jameson.
She switched them.
And so when she came back, Kindred was on, and so I pull out my little weed. I hit my little bit. I put it out because the area we in seemed to be like a little bit mature. So I didn't want to be the one.
She got caught smoking.
Weed.
They told her.
So I hit it out. I hit it out.
Pointed her out, everything.
I'm in my zone, and we enjoying ourselves. It was over. Now, when we were on the way home, I can't say I was sitting in the car like, damn, I feel high. But still not thinking anything other than I done felt high before. I'm like, damn, I just feel high. So I'm laying back or what have you. We get there, and I had to pee. So I go in the house. I sit on my couch. I take my jacket off. I can't find my watch. I still don't know where my watch is. So I took my watch off and did whatever with it. I went. I used the bathroom. I came out. I said, okay, I'll take my shower in the morning. I took everything off except for my underwear because I didn't shower, so I didn't want to be, on my. So I wake up this morning.
She woke up this morning.
And then when I woke up, which is the reason I was late, when I woke up, it was 11:45.
Right
Like,
there, too.
it was 11:45. Like, you would have really thought, like, I party. I came in like 2, 3. God, and it was 12 something.
Oh, wait.
It was 12 o'clock.
Connie chimed in. She said, social norms don't always make it right. Is this cuz?
This is good.
That's cuz. Yeah, that's kind
What
of.
up,
She don't
cuz?
show up
And
on
that's true.
mine.
Probably a delay because mine's freezing a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's cuz. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Connie. That's Connie.
So we still got
That's
to get
true.
to
I
the,
agree with that.
So look, okay, so I wake up this morning.
by herself, y'all.
At 11:45. So look, I look
Supposedly.
up. And
No,
so
she
I
was
promise
alone.
you, I was.
She
Well, I
was
thought
alone.
I was, you know.
No.
She was with the panty stretcher.
I got to. No, y'all think I'm playing. This is not funny. And then the thing about it, when I put my panties on yesterday, I mean, I just put them on, boo. I mean,
Like, no.
I woke up this morning.
They
on
was too
all
big.
eye level. The very first thing I
The
did.
front was too big. The back fit nice.
The like that, Mark. So look, wait. I get up. The very first thing I do every morning, as soon as I crack my eyes, I
After you
thank God
pray.
for
Go
the
ahead.
Most High. Exactly.
All right.
I get up.
Uh-huh.
I go to walk in the bathroom like this. So I'm holding my panties.
How I got 9 inches of
Y'all
stretch
think
on
I'm
these drawers?
and I go and I use the bathroom. I get up. I pull my panties up. I'm talking about they were really like I just took them off. Like,
It was a
what
double
is it?
hander.
That
It
let
was-
me know
I
it was
mean,
2 hands.
Two
It
hands.
was
Look,
bad.
Mark, no hands.
Okay, now for those that don't know her, like us, she got another personality. Her name is.
Monique.
Thank you.
Monique came out at
Monique showed out.
She
Monique
had.
came
I
out
promise y'all,
at
I
night.
cannot explain.
Sometimes relationships require you to be individualized by yourself with your ulterior motives.
But right,
She
Y'all-
is a
y'all think
whole.
I'm
She
playing.
the whole tweet
You
song.
called her a
That's
hoe.
What I really love about this story is she doesn't remember what happened.
No, this is the thing. I swear on all I live on. And then, like, I never leave the house without my watch.
And look at here.
I cannot tell y'all where my. I didn't do anything.
No more
last
Chardonnay.
night, though.
No. We got look.
It probably went down the hole.
Stay tuned next week.
Oh, I know.
She got a mushroom.
I know where her watch
Take your
is.
glasses back off.
It went down the pipe. It went down the
Y'all hear
warp
that?
zone. It went down the warp zone.
Oh, we all
That's what
know.
it went.
You
Baby,
hear
did
that?
you look?
But you know
Watch, I
what?
can hear it.
You can.
It's in there. Oh yeah.
But
I
wait.
got a good ear.
The thing that it concerned me a little bit though, because we were sitting next to a couple that she was just so just all in their face and just enjoying herself, and I'm
Mhm.
like, your
Talk about
cup, like, was your cup exposed?
Yeah, like
Like,
my
did
cup
they-
was, it was like between me and her, and
Oh,
the girl who was sitting
probably
next to
slipped you
me.
something.
I swear, y'all think I'm playing like
That would be her fault
something
if that happened,
last. I don't know, but when I got home and
You know
woke up
what?
this morning,
That
I
could
swear
be
on
true.
everything I love. I could
Say,
not.
watch where you sit your cup.
Damn, so that means if you get date rape, you would go home and rape yourself? If nobody else is
Look,
around?
Ain't
you
nobody
rape
else
yourself?
around. I already got the pill in the
They're hoping
hand.
that
Is
it
that what
kicks
that mean?
in before you leave. So
And I'm sitting in the car, but what I really
They done wasted
started,
$38
No,
on a
wait,
pill.
but when I really first started,
Not that I know how to
feeling
get
it, we
'em,
were in the car, and I was kind of laid back, like, damn, I
What's
feel
wrong with this
high
fool?
as hell. But I'm trying to make it make sense, like. And now, don't get me wrong, I hit my weed, but I always do. I mean, this isn't
That
anything
lady
that
next
has
to you,
me. When the
sometimes
girl
she'll
next
slip
to me, and she
you.
kept saying, I will say this, but I don't think they did my. She kept saying, you are so pretty. And her guy was like an older man. But he was, to like an eyes. Like
So they was on
Ron
stage
Isley.
one. Stage one.
All
Talk
right,
about it.
and when she went to the bathroom, I kind of tried to make it my business to be more in tune to Toya, because I don't want to be all in conversation with your nigga and you done left.
Right.
Just the respect.
Which
so
is also a part of the lifestyle.
Yeah,
which
right,
is
and then-
respect.
because he started talking
He
when
started
the wife
talking
went to the
to
bathroom.
me.
He started talking to her.
me, and he wasn't
So I'm
talking
like,
to me when she was there.
Oh,
So when
yeah,
she went to
okay.
the bathroom, he leaned over, and that's when some lady with the lady and her 4 sons were on the stage. Right before they brought out
Yes,
Kim.
yeah.
And he told me that the guy who was in the all black, they used to live in the same apartment building, and he was real arrogant. He was like, he looked like that up on the stage. Now I said, oh, okay. And then I'm steadily trying to turn back to Toya, because again, your wife or whoever to see us with you is gone, and me
Yeah,
and
that's
her
crazy.
vibing.
Now he's not
So,
talking to you when the wife is there.
Yeah, but when
You don't want her to
she
walk
left-
back up and see y'all
Yeah,
talking.
the
and
energy,
shit.
and I didn't want the energy between me and her to change, because we were really You know, but when I promise
She did
you,
her stage one really good.
she had and then left. You know what?
They were setting you up.
That wife,
They were trying to throw you under the bus.
she was.
That was the bus coming when she left. Yeah, that's what that was. They
And
were
you
trying to
know
hit
what?
Now that we done figured it out. So you had a question for those that...
Oh, no, for you. So understanding so much of the freak world and the swingers, you prefer polygamy though? Like, it sounds as if you would be like over like, yeah, I'm polygamy cool, but it's more of a commitment to people versus...
Here's the difference, and I think you need to understand the difference. Free groups, swingers, poly, you're trying to build. You're really trying to build. You're trying to find a wife or a husband or two husbands so that you can build a community where you're looking more of a long term, where 4 or 5 people are pooling their assets together. Where if you're in a free group, one of the benefits of being in a free group is
that you don't do that.
Is that you don't even know their name. You have a club name. There's you don't know these people, nor are you allowed to talk about these people outside of these 4 walls.
Oh wow! Okay,
the rules are very strict.
It's kind of like almost a Mason kind of, as
Pretty
far as
much.
what you speak on,
What
what you
happens
do
there
say,
stays
what you
there.
don't say. Okay.
Where you're in a poly group, hey, I want to take us to I want to go on vacation with us, and we're all together. I mean, one of the things that I was trying to work with a friend of mine was having a poly restaurant where you could have kids, everyone commune, and it's a safe place. Because again, a man shows up with 3 women, it's gonna look awkward. It's very hard to explain to people when you're in the lifestyle. It's almost like when you're, like, for example, when you're gay, for a long time you didn't tell nobody you were gay. You were in the closet. Swingers and poly, we are still in closets because it's hard to explain to somebody what you know to be true, what your reality
The
is.
perception is all.
And there's so many different ideas.
So basically to avoid judgment
Right.
from people who don't
Now,
understand.
now, when we have moments where we may be dating someone or a couple, we don't hide our affection when we're in an exclusive, let's just say, situation. We don't hide our affection if we're out eating or whatever and want to kiss or whatever. We don't do it. We don't hide.
Wait. Let me understand. You and Maestro don't.
No, we don't.
Oh no, any regular couple would do that too.
Right.
Like,
No, with
But she
another
said that
person.
when they're out with
So if
another.
we're out
if
with
we were
another
dating
woman.
and she wanted to kiss her, she would kiss her.
Oh, publicly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
we
saying.
don't hide.
Okay.
Now, if she, just say if it's another female in general, she may not be as open about it as we are. So out of respect for that, we may not do it. But if it's somebody else who like, hell, I'm grown, I do what I want. We show our affection with that person, even when we're out in public.
Okay. Now I got another question for you as far as that, and my issue is like when it comes with
solving all issues
the
tonight.
homosexual community, LGBT, whatever.
The alphabet.
Community that when I one time I was out, we were at Target and I was with the grandchildren and we were taking I was taking them shopping. We do like this because I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. So when I do, we go shopping, maybe see a movie, and we were in line and there was a gay couple in front of us, 2 men though, and they were kind of holding hands and a bit, So my grandson is kind of like
Confused.
Gigi, why that's a boy. I said, no, and the only thing I disagree with it, like publicly, because my next question is like, is it public, or when we're in public places that understand what we do?
Okay,
or it's
so,
just public
okay. Now, I will say this. We have a level of respect especially for the children. We don't do that.
Okay.
When we're in a kid-friendly environment.
Yeah.
Let me say that.
Yeah.
But we're at a restaurant, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
And typically the kids are not
there.
there.
Yeah.
Everybody out on dates.
Yeah.
We're something
so when
like
we're in an
that.
adult setting, whether it's what we do
Yes.
is just a regular restaurant. All
Yes.
adults are here. We entertain. We do our thing. I
Yes.
got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
we
There-
don't
there
we
is
don't
something-
do that in front of our kids neither.
Oh, got you.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part that I have.
Yeah.
Like, that's what causes my beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can give a care what anybody
Yeah,
does.
let
But
them
I
make
don't
their
wanna
own
ride
decisions.
I don't want to have the car drive home, and I'm explaining to my grandson.
But why not, though?
What that just confused
But
the
why have
out
him
of
go through 18 years of
No, I'm
what
not-
he normally is? Like, let's say he can't be with one woman. Let's say he likes to be a part of a free group, but he doesn't know it yet. Why not expose him to say, you know what? Let me educate you because I want you to be knowing.
No, and
that
see,
this is
I don't want to
reality.
mentally educate my grandson sexually at 6.
I think what it is.
I don't want
is
to
like,
bombard his mindset.
You
with-
know your child that you're raising, whether it's your child, your grandchild, your niece, nephew, right? And it should be up to that family or that environment, that village's
when they, I don't want to
determination
be forced
when
into that because
information
I've
is
seen
exposed
it,
to it.
and
don't
now
just-
I gotta
other
say.
people should. You can't just allow the world to, and they go, well, the world, that's how it is, and it's out here and all of that. Yeah, but it was out there before, and then we had parental advice.
But, yeah, it's always
we
been
had
out
buffers,
here. Yeah.
right
Yep.
before. Now it's no fucking buffer. It's just like everything is
Bloop,
out,
bloop,
out here and
bloop.
shit.
Yeah,
They can
exactly.
get the remote control and cut on P Valley.
P
and shit, you know what I'm
Valley,
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's not right,
That's
man.
not.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Like,
not.
that's not
and I'm
cool,
sorry,
dog.
but it's not. It's
not
it's
cool,
not.
dog.
And the only
The
thing
gay
I'm saying, and then
BCs
don't
and-
get me
and-
wrong.
and-
Oh,
and
did you see
the gay
that?
B fucking C's? Are you serious?
I was so mad when I saw that a book
What
for
is it?
little kids. It was the ABCs, just the
But
ABC
it's called the
book.
gay
Shut
BC.
up.
But it was titled The Gay
No.
BCs, and
But
it was in the school.
If you have a question, if
C
the
is
child
for
has a
curious
question,
because you might want to.
yeah, see, it's
and
for
understand
curious,
if
you know.
that is a safe place to have that conversation at 6. Like, C is for curious. There are people. It may not be you. It may be you. I don't know, but
I
I'm gonna love
totally
you anyway.
disagree.
I do. I'm
I
sorry.
do.
I'm not-
I
I'm
turned
not
out the
presenting
way
that
I
as no
turned out
option
without the
to my
influence of
son.
others.
I'm not presenting that as no option to my son when he's that age. I'm sorry,
But if
that
he
shit's
presents it to you,
then we have a problem. Okay?
Because somebody
Period.
somebody
Because he's a
presented it to
man.
him.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That's my son. And you can say whatever you want after that shit,
Okay.
but no, he has to be correct. Like, listen, if my son identifies as a fucking puppy because he watches Paw Patrol all goddamn day,
Right.
is it my job now to cultivate that and put a leash around his neck and feed him dog food and let him walk around on a leash because he thinks he's a dog in his mind? He's not a fucking dog. And that same shit applies to everything else.
My
But
daughter
what-
thought she was a superhero. I bought her a cape.
Yeah,
She
you
is
know,
gay, though.
Like, but the
You funny
See,
as fuck.
all right, and I don't, and you okay with that for your child, and that's what it is.
And that's what
that's
it
our
is, yeah.
difference.
Gay?
yeah.
How old is she?
20.
She's an adult.
Oh no, yeah, no. She's
Okay.
I'm just saying that that was my child.
But see, I
love
turned
her.
out like this without the influence of others.
Exactly.
You know, I
'cause it
didn't.
was already
This is
in you.
definitely
I wasn't.
my choice.
I didn't grow
You
up
didn't
watching
have the challenge, but now
people-
there are people in Detroit. There are people in Detroit who are like this. I'm gonna use your term,
This.
right? Like this.
Yeah.
You know, but that's natural. But they're so hurt. They're walking around hurt because they can't really love the way they want to love. There are, and we need to let them know. You know what? It's okay to love because love is love.
But if they bring it to us, I'm not definitely bringing that shit to my kids.
Now we got to got a boundary at love, right?
Yeah.
Because I love you.
I love
that
you
brother
too.
right there,
Right.
right?
I love him too.
But I'm not in love with you,
I ain't
and I
fucking
never
him.
will be in love with you. It's a
Right.
difference.
Right.
You can't. That's not nigga. Nah, you're not about to do that.
But if you decided to love him and he decided to fuck you, I would be okay with it.
No,
Yeah,
this
but
is
see,
not.
that's two adult
But see how you
situations
just-
that they made, though.
But that
my
wouldn't even
whole
be
thing
possible.
Is no, I got. We know.
Like you
we
see,
know.
how you gonna throw me under the bus like
No,
that? Like
no,
that's
wait a
not
no,
gonna
we-
work.
no.
Because what happens is my husband is not bisexual.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
On that,
He's
yeah.
so goddamn dumb.
They're damn right. We get on. I told you the one who say anything. But you know what? And I love the type of parent that you are. I love your parenting style. I love your parenting. I just love the way you deal and raise the boys. You know, and I would love what is your input on that? The child being introduced to,
Well, no. Let's go when your son comes up to you and says, "Mommy, why is that man holding that other man's hand?" What would you say?
I mean, that we've had that conversation before. And I've explained to him, there are men who love men, there are women who love women. It's no different between how me and your daddy love each other. It's no different.
How
And then
old are
it's right now they're 12 and 5.
Okay.
But that's it. That was the end of the
You
conversation.
didn't elaborate.
He's never,
No
I don't
details.
go into
Yeah.
detail.
But in
I
that,
don't
there
go
was no
into any of
judgment.
that.
There was no, no, there was none of that.
No,
just-
it was just,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was just like,
And
okay.
I wouldn't do that with myself. I wouldn't judge. Like as far as
I'm not gonna
harsh as I
judge
sound
it.
right
Yeah,
now. just-
yeah. Oh no, I'm not gonna judge.
I'm talking
the
amongst
con-
adults how I
Yeah,
feel about her.
yeah.
No, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like no difference than if it was a scene where it was a transgender that got hurt car accident. Am I gonna stop and help that person? Yeah, it's a human. I'm
It's
not
a human. I'm
oh,
still
that's
gonna
not
be
a- yeah, that's a-
exactly.
But
Exactly.
it's not.
But it's
I
a
don't want
difference
that.
between your children coming to you and they have questions about what they've seen versus you exposing
Exposing them.
Yeah.
them
Listen.
to
As this
the
is an
different
option.
lifestyles.
That's what I said. I'm not
Yeah.
going to present
I'm not-
this
I
as an
watch
option.
People,
Yeah,
That's
I
what
watch
I'm
P
saying.
Valley
Speaking-
faithfully,
speaking of
but it's
exposure.
after the kids have gone to bed. They, you know, we got a lock on the channels. You can't access
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of the
yeah,
channels without
yeah.
putting in a pin. Like,
Yeah.
I don't readily expose them to
And then see
the
for
lifestyle.
you, that would actually have someone else in the community challenging you. That's life. That's what happens. Why won't
That's
you
the
let
decision
your
they need to
children-
make when they can make those.
That's
decisions.
my point.
Right.
They
That's
can't-
But
their
we,
point.
now keep
They
in mind,
can't
we were
make those
talking about
decisions at 12
at
o'clock.
Target though.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
no.
I'm saying.
So there's, you know, and again, in your home, if Mark wants to control everything, you know, nothing over, then that's fine.
yeah.
But when you start pointing, I'm over here with 3 women, and we're at Target. Mommy, is he a pimp?
No, I would. Oh,
Then-
wait, I wouldn't even know.
Most
You know,
kids don't even know that terminology though.
I
Yeah.
ain't even thinking that.
But
deep.
that's
That's
Yeah.
our era, you
And
know.
then-
In they mind, that could be your sister,
Your sister,
and your wife or something.
and
They
your
ain't
daughter.
been-
Exactly.
That's
we
your
not understanding
that's
that
your
kids-
ratchet ass mind thinking about a pimp.
Mama,
Kids,
how he got
their
three
perceptions
grandmas?
are limited, and their perception at that age is whatever we feed that perception to be,
So how
wherever
about
they're
this?
exposed.
The
to.
show just before y'all just left, right? We had one of the topics on the show was about how Planned Parenthood was giving flyers to 8th graders, informing the students that they can get abortion without their parental consent. What do y'all
What?
think about that?
Wow.
What?
You heard it.
So
That's
here's
some
the thing.
bullshit.
My sister, well, my best friend is Brandon. I mean, and he's 10 years younger, but he's my nephew. She had him at 12, which is the 8th grade. And my mother didn't.
That was cool.
My mother did not discuss. I think. And,
I have an aunt who got
and I love my nephew to death. Don't get me wrong, but I think my sister would be better off had she had the abortion. Because
So-
she had gone through so much shit
she
at
had to
12,
deal with that.
and she was not given any type of choice or any type of information, which is basically that's it. At least now I can come with a piece of paper and say I got this paper at school and I'm pregnant.
Right, but whose job is it to give them that information? I don't want, and I'm not against Planned Parenthood. Look, I've visited a couple times myself, but I don't want Planned Parenthood.
That about you.
I don't want Planned
Phase one.
Parenthood giving the flyer to my child before I've had an opportunity to talk to them about.
Yeah.
What my
their
thought,
would
what
you
my
though?
thought was,
Their
what my
perception
thought
and their
was, if you are presenting this information to my child at school, right? Say I got a daughter, and she come home with this flyer saying you can get an abortion without your parents' consent. Would that not be enticing them to now have sex, or think it's
Exactly.
okay
Yeah.
to
But
have
if you-
sex without
Yeah.
their consent?
If you raised
That
her
open
correctly, it
door.
wouldn't even be a
But
question.
just like-
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
see, the raising
yeah,
her
you're right.
correctly is true, but at the same time, I don't want
It's
what
just
I've
outside
instilled in
influence.
her to now actually alter a thought about what I've already taught.
What
her.
about
You
sex
see
ed
what-
class? Now in sexual education class, they send a letter home for you to read to tells you what they're going to teach your child, and you have to sign your signature saying that you're okay with that
Now,
first.
I'm 54 years old, and I remember my mother having, did not, and I get taken out and sat with the other 2 children, and the other 27 were in the room getting educated. So that letter is not new.
No, but I'm saying
No,
they
but what
shouldn't
she
be
said-
passing out that information.
That should
If you're
be
going to pass that out, that
addressed.
should be a part of asking parents permission as well.
If it's okay
you don't
to
pass that out to no
give-
kid.
Right.
It was the beginning of this school year, I believe, because this was the first time that we had back in school learning since COVID, right? At the beginning of the school year. And I brought this up earlier on your show earlier in the year. One of my Facebook friends was raising awareness or raising hell, I guess, on her Facebook page because she took her 8-year-old son the first day of first grade class, and the seat that was open to him was a little boy who was dressed like a girl. And she had an issue with it. So what would y'all do in that situation? You take your son to his first day of first grade class, and the seat that's available next to him is next to a boy who has, been allowed to come to school dressed like a little girl in the first grade.
What would I do? I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, because that's something that we have no control of. Now, what I do have control of is teaching my son. You know what I'm saying? That's that boy and his parents' decision. You don't have to do that. You can continue to wear your clothes every day the way you wear them. You know, if the baby isn't making an issue out of it, I'm not gonna make one out of it.
Right.
Only way these kids think that something is wrong is if we tell them.
which is teaching hate.
Which is teaching some form of hate.
Right.
It's not all hate.
Because what I've clarified with my grandchildren is, and I promise you, I'm not going to let society guilt trip them
Right.
into
And
the fact
that's
of
my
thinking
thing, man.
that
Like,
the way, if I don't
I'm gonna
agree
teach
with
him what's
that,
right,
and
what's
I
natural,
speak
and what's
on
right.
It, yeah.
That's it. That's
That-
the bottom
yeah.
line.
Right
I'm
to
not.
who?
I'm not
You
teaching.
don't have-
You can't. 2 men can't make a baby, bro. That's what I'm teaching. 2 women can't make a baby. You gonna come with
And
all of this
that's fact.
theology behind it,
That's
right?
truth.
You can come all of this shit, but at the end of the day, if I take this motherfucking battery out and put the positive side next to the positive, the shit don't work because the circuit don't connect. So it's the same thing. If 2 dicks
No,
ain't gonna
that's
connect,
true.
you see what I'm
That
saying?
is
And
true.
that's what's
But you
right.
can take a dick
Here
and put
we
it in
go.
a booty
See,
hole.
here we go.
Dog.
And you can't make no damn baby. You
still
sound like a
can't make a baby.
homosexual talking right now. To be honest with you.
No, and I'm with you.
I'm telling you.
For
But,
me,
but you,
I think
listen.
love is love.
My point was a baby. You cannot
Right.
create life.
Right.
Period. You're gonna talk about a dick in a booty hole. That don't make a baby.
Right. But it does
Period.
make that man or that other man
I
feel
think I
But
need
like
ain't no
one.
but.
I
Fuck the
think I need
but.
a
Fuck
drink.
the but. There is no but. I'm
Where's
talking
the
about my
Chardonnay?
one point.
Exactly.
Baby.
That's why we drink so deep.
Baby, you cannot make a baby. I
No.
don't want to hear your butt.
At
because your
54,
butt
I don't
is
wanna
a butt.
make a baby.
Well, that's you.
No, but
and
that's
what's
you,
fine for
exactly.
you is for you. And I don't want you influencing my
But
kid.
and then that's
Because he
and
ain't
that's
54
still
and got
your-
burnt out already
that's
and shit. Like,
still
that's
a
not.
decision made at an adult stage when you decide you don't want to have children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't influence your child
Listen.
before they've had an opportunity to even
Period.
live a life.
That's
to have
it.
an experience.
That is it.
That's
to
it.
make
That
the
is
decision
it.
for
Listen.
I'm not going
themselves.
to taint it towards something that's
While people
confusing them.
talking about P Valley, it's not just P Valley.
It's not.
I'm keeping. Okay, I told you I had custody of my 4 and 5-year-old grandchildren. My granddaughter's watching TV with me the other day, right? I made her ass go downstairs because I didn't know the show was gonna come on where the lady was riding a dick.
Off the rip. Off the
You know,
rip.
so it's not. I'm not homophobic. I'm not none of that shit.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I'm not
here we go
letting
with
them-
that.
I'm not
I
letting
tear
them-
their ass up with that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
letting
Open that
them.
book with me.
I'm not letting them watch none of that shit.
Period. Man and woman or
Right.
man and
It's
man.
not.
Yeah.
It's not right all the way around. And I
Yeah.
get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? You can't bump no 2 dicks and make no baby.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all the truth. He not
It is.
teaching his
I'm
kids
not teaching him
no
to.
lie.
I'm not. Sex ain't for play. It's not about just the pleasure of
Right.
it. And that's what you're gonna fuck them up, getting sticking dicks in booties and shit. And fucking around, dick fall off at fucking 18.
Yeah.
Teaching them that, oh yeah, it's okay to just stick your dick anywhere with whoever got a
Booty
hole
get
they
as
can
wet as
piss.
the Gucci get.
Whoever
That's
got
not
whoever got a
my
hole they
point.
can piss, you
I'm
can just stick it in. No, fuck
because
that.
And
No.
then y'all don't
That
judge
shit
me.
is sloppy
I
as
said
fuck,
I'm gonna
baby.
say this, but I'm gonna say it this time, and don't judge
Say
me.
it. Let me
Don't
hear.
judge
Let me
y'all.
hear.
Well, like when I watch porn, I like to watch like the 2 men who be really be.
Do you? I will say this though, the booty do get wet.
Don't it though?
Oh, here we go.
That little booty be wet. And then
But
they
see, here's the
actually
thing about
have
that, right?
another
Listen,
call-
listen,
They call it a pee.
listen.
Did
That's
you know that?
entertainment, right? That's no different than a
No,
movie.
no,
That's
yeah,
like I
I
watch
get it.
Fast and Furious
Yeah.
and I watch a race.
You missed it right there. You missed it.
Uh-oh,
She got to
He
say it
did
again 'cause
not miss
you
it.
missed it.
Oh, yeah,
no,
he is
he
kinda
did.
like-
He missed it.
Right,
what
right.
what happens with the booty?
I said it do.
It
get
do.
I heard her.
wet.
I heard
No,
her.
no, but she literally just put a whole 30-second commercial in there. Like, yes,
Booty.
I
do-
go
in
that
the
way.
camera,
Yes,
like,
yes.
Booty do get wet.
There you go.
She
But
had a
my
whole
thing
booty
is, and I promise
endorsement
you, I had
right
this
there.
conversation with somebody, and they wanted to take it to. It kind of goes back to what you said, and to bring it into the religious aspect, if you will. And they asked me, like, well, what do you think the sin? And I'm just discussing it. I don't get into the in depth of the belief of it. But what did you think the sin of homosexuality was? Like, why the Most High doesn't agree with it? You know. And I said, well, if I had to say, it's because it prevents His whole purpose of why He created us.
Reproduction.
It's reproduction.
well-
It's you get.
Now they gonna say, well, you can adopt and all of
You
this other
can
bullshit.
no. The baby's
Like, nah,
already
fuck
here.
that.
But guess how that baby get here?
How did the
Reproduction.
child get here that you adopted? Right, because like you said, 2 men absolutely positively
Two girls bumping
cannot.
coochies is
And
not gonna, and I
without
understand
any,
there's pleasure in all of that
all
shit.
of that,
For some
I get
people,
that.
okay,
I
get
get
it.
that part. But see, the thing about it, I outside of technology, I don't want to hear about technology. I don't want to hear about what can be made. The natural format of how we were created and why, when it comes to reproducing, if we all chose homosexuality without the technicality of
fertilization.
I feel like
we would. And then this is the thing: we would die off.
Me endorsing
As a
homosexuality
people.
to
Yes,
my
we
child
would.
would be me. I feel like teaching him a lie, teaching him that 1 + 1 is 8, and it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's
Yeah.
just fucking
It's
not.
not.
Well, actually, let me
Actually,
let me
the
say
butt
this.
You don't
and
want
actually.
to
I'm
actually.
gonna give you the butt.
We
Let me
have
give you this.
totally gotten
So
off
so
the-
we're gonna talk. We do that. So let's talk biblical. Let's talk about a 2,000-year-old book, right?
That's the bunch of bullshit. But come on.
So the Bible says that David was God's favorite, right? And then the Bible also says, and this is something they don't teach you in the church, that David loved Jonathan with the love of a woman. And what when you look at the how the Bible is written, that means that David loved Jonathan, and he had booty in the dick.
That does not.
So you mean that the
I
Bible is
promise you it
endorsing
tells you.
homosexuality?
Fuck.
So it's endorsing
No, it's not
homosexuality.
endorsing
So
it,
it's
but it's there.
Okay, we know that it's there. We know
So-
that.
so
So
it's
it was
always
right.
been there.
So here you
Murder
have,
was there.
so
Drugs was there. All of that shit was
if
there.
you
That
have
was
God's
cool.
None of it
favorite,
made it all right.
if you have
Here
God's
we
favorite,
go.
God literally said, anyone who's a theologian will know, hey, however I pronounce that, will know that David was God's favorite.
Is that
and
true?
no, but
Because
see,
he
this
took
is
dick
no,
up
but
the
this
ass?
is my
That's
thing
why.
in
No,
reference
that's
to
not why.
that.
Is that
But
true?
no, but then
But he le-
this scripture also trumps that one though, because the Bible also said that God was no respecter of persons.
Right.
He loved everyone equally.
Everyone.
So he loved David just as he did the man who didn't love Jonathan as like a woman. So that doesn't quite, bring in the
but
justification
it's
of
not
how
about a
he felt.
justification. It's about love. God is
No,
love.
yeah,
so,
he is.
So yeah, you know what?
Man, love don't mean making love and being in love. That don't mean
That's
me
right.
sticking my
So you
dick in
can
this
be in
man's
love
booty,
with
man.
somebody
But it
and
doesn't
never
mean
have
hate
touch
either.
physically.
I didn't say hate.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna teach that it's right. That's a
Fuck
difference.
it.
Like you can't be blurring the lines. See, I see what kind of lifestyle you done live. Like you blur
I
the
don't-
lines like a motherfucker on some shit, boy.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
Do you have
nah,
children?
man.
Do you have children?
Yeah, his daughter. He
Oh
said
yeah,
she's
daughter.
gay.
So is she the only one?
To the best of my knowledge,
And look,
she's the only one
just
that is
Not
out.
to the
Like-
best of your knowledge.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a traditional, raise your kid how we were raised. I'm a traditional.
Now-
I'm not changing nothing. I'm not changing.
And then the thing
So let me-
about
let
it,
me
what
say
I
this.
love
I'm not-
about what she's saying is too, and she's a person who lives this lifestyle.
Yes.
But I am not fixing to reflect that upon my children
No.
until I feel that they are at an
No,
age
whatever
that they-
decision they make when they become
is
adults,
their
it won't be
decision.
because
Me.
it won't because I was showing them I was kissing a woman.
Yeah, because
You know what
me
I'm
say
saying?
this.
It's
Let
not.
me say this. My oldest daughter is gay. Right?
Okay.
She is married, happily married.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, wonderful.
But my other daughter, drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, 20-something years old, and is a virgin.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
So
That's beautiful.
I'm looking at, but at the end, they made their choices.
Right.
My daughter, like you said,
There's certain things that you can't say as a dad of a child who lives that lifestyle. I understand that.
my,
First
my
off.
daughter,
And that's
Number
the thing.
one,
my
number
youngest
one,
daughter,
That
number
is a
one.
part of it.
Okay.
It is. It
So-
is.
saw the nonsense. Saw me. I mean, she was part of my nonsense.
Okay.
Like I would, hey baby, this is how we gonna play this one. When she was 10, 11, 12.
You had her in on your bullshit.
Oh my God.
Shame on you.
So this
That's
was
part
this,
of why she turned
thi-
out
thi-
like that.
That's what my point.
Okay,
This-
so nigga, so
You're
you telling me
proving our
you proving a
point.
point. You
My-
proving
my
my
point
point.
is
I
that
don't
she
want
was-
my child to be like your child.
No, but she made the choice to be the complete opposite. I mean, I don't know other than my daughter.
So
I
the
don't
one
know,
that's a virgin is the one that was on the
Right.
bullshit with you.
Right.
So
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you
I thought
scared
that was
her.
some other-
I don't know if I
scared her
scared
straight.
her, but
Straight,
she
yeah.
made her own choice. She's like, I don't like, I love men.
Say, I saw my
Okay,
dad.
I
yeah,
love
so I
men,
thought
but
you
I
said
saw
you
what
had-
I love men, but I saw what my daddy did with these women.
Wow.
And how she played. No.
Well, see, that
So-
all that all depends on how that person or that individual is wired, right? Some
Right.
people that take to it, and some people are like you can teach people how to be, just like you can teach them how not to be. And this is about what they take to. You know what I mean? And you never know how you may have influenced the first one like that. You may have not thought you had her involved in that, but
I mean,
just
yeah.
seeing it, then you know
The
what I mean?
energy of it.
And then that was
Actually,
your first one.
I take full responsibility for the
So
first
right,
one.
and then here's the thing, right? Listen,
I really
so
do.
now the first one
That's
had
so
the
big of
second
you.
one. The second one had the first one to look at as an example
Let
as well.
let me tell you the story though. So I love
about
Costco.
that?
Okay,
I love
She had her
Costco.
big sister to look at as an example.
Well, how about that?
I love Costco, right? and we would go every chance. If it was my turn to cook, we're gonna go get $1.50 hot dog and it comes with a free soda, right? But then I like the pizza.
Okay.
Right. So we would all share the one drink. Like, and if her and I went on a date, or the kids would get a drink, and her and I would get a drink, and I would tell them, if you ever get a boyfriend, you can't drink out of our cups because we ain't sharing your DNA with your man. And so now you got it. He pointed at you.
Oh wow!
So now here she is, just graduated from college. She's getting ready to go to college, and when she went to college, right, everybody was blessing her with money. So she had a pocket full of money when we went to Costco. She had like $4,000, right? And because it was just after church, and it was crazy, right? And so I'm sitting here, and she said, "Daddy, I'm gonna get my own soda. I got money to pay for it." She said, then it's like, "Okay, baby, it's all you. You sure you can handle it?" The lady said, I got it back, Daddy. And she said, "Oh, that'd be 51 cents." She was pissed. She was hot. She was like, "Wait a minute. All of this time, I could have had a boyfriend, and all I had to do was pay 51 cents."
I'm done. What the?
Wow.
Been separated the two. I love it.
So yeah, I take full responsibility.
I love it.
She was like,
I
"Yeah,
love
that
it.
51
I
cents."
love
Damn it,
it.
Al.
That's all it costs.
Damn it, Al.
Look, my freedom was 51 cents. Are you serious?
That is
This
funny.
all this time I've been waiting in the wall.
Right.
And my freedom was 51 cents.
How many boys I could have kissed? Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So I pointed at her when you said
I was
that
finna
about
say
the
if we could
sharing
bring it back
of
around.
of the cups, because our youngest is now in that dating realm,
He's 17.
and so she would
Get close to the
Yeah.
would still share. She wouldn't. Moms and the kids. They,
Right.
Yeah, that's
Same
my baby.
DNA.
been doing it for a lifetime. So to her, and I'm like, babe.
He be on my head like.
Well, I told her, look, if you're gonna do that, then you can't drink behind me. You want to
how
continue
about
to do
that?
that because he at that age now.
Ain't no telling what his
And
mom
it
been
goes
doing.
back.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were saying
He no
before.
coochie.
When you are in the lifestyle, you have a complete different rules, and you are more cognizant of how germs are transferred.
Yeah, but you did say that. Yeah, you said
Yeah,
that.
because my son
about how
refuses to drink. He will not. If you drink after him, he don't want it.
my grandson is like that
He
though.
like,
Now,
mm-mm.
like
So
if
at
I
what
have a
age-
drink
I'm like,
and
boy, I
pass
just
it
took a
to
sip.
him,
He's
he'd be
like,
like,
I
"No,
want
you
it."
drunk out of it." I'm like,
Even after if it's little brother, like
The
one day his
age
little
is the
brother
second
came
you
and
bring
took
other
a-
DNA into it.
His
No,
little
no, I
brother
was
took
gonna
a
say-
fry off his plate. He was like, "I don't want it."
Because I was thinking about the picture where that was going viral of the brother from Detroit who had the pictures of his daughter, like 10 years old.
Oh, and he was kissing her on the
and
mouth.
everybody felt like it was suspect.
I remember that.
type shit, right? So it's just like, at what age do you, what is the procedure? What is the protocol in which you stop showing what type of affection to your kid? I guess we could just talk about kissing because we're talking about exchanging the fluid. So
Yeah.
like, what age do y'all feel like it's
regardless of the
Actually, I
lifestyle
think
you
I think the
live.
child decides.
Boys,
Yeah.
I
boys
think the child
typically,
decides.
boys though, they stop kissing
Yeah.
their moms on the lips way early, like, because it's embarrassing to them.
To
Because
them.
we'll kiss them off to school every day in front of their friends.
Yeah,
if we
right,
could.
Like my son
Yeah.
kissed me, and I was very uncomfortable with that.
My daughter,
Right.
My husband
but
is
he-
like,
in the mouth when he
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see,
He
yeah,
snuck
that's-
one in. I'm like,
my husband.
Bro,
So if
like-
your son, your age right now, Mark, your son at his age right now, if he's leaving and he gives you a kiss on the cheek,
He's
is
not.
that?
He not. He that's not. He ain't gonna.
That ain't his
He's already
MO.
wired. I mean, because it's like it's almost like he knows how what things that his mom's does and treats him, and he knows how I treat him. So he does to
How
me.
old is he?
He's 6 now.
Okay.
So he does to me the same thing that I do to him. Like, he on the forehead, side of the head stuff. You know what I mean?
But with mommy, it's just mwah, mwah, I love my
well,
baby.
but you know what? He really he kind of getting to that stage now where he ain't really.
with
Yeah,
mommy
he
don't-
either.
he don't
And
really
it
like
is
all of
about
that.
5 or
I
6
think
that
the
it
kids
happens.
decide.
My
Yeah.
5-year-old though, we always kiss on him. He always, cause if I turn my face, he'll turn my face and kiss me. On the
Oh
lips.
yeah,
what he's
yeah.
used to.
But
Yeah.
but my 12-year-old,
No.
I can't even get a hug from that boy. I can't.
He don't like
he don't
it.
even want to stand next to me.
My
Yeah.
son didn't
Right.
knew about germs before he was even able to talk. Like if he fall and get dirty, he come to me like wipe this dirt off me. Like he don't even like being dirty.
I can't even touch my skin with
He's
this
like,
on
what is
me.
this on me? Get this off of me. So yeah, he don't like germs already. So
Yeah.
he ain't with that kissing in the mouth stuff. He ain't never.
I think it gets uncomfortable when you force the child. Like I would never go kiss your auntie. No, I don't want
That
to.
part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have stopped doing that. And I've because I used to do my oldest, when, family come around, hey, go give your auntie a hug, go give her a kiss. She just want a kiss on the cheek. And then I noticed that it makes them so uncomfortable.
It
Yeah.
does.
Like, it's
It
to the
does.
point where they're just, they can't stand to even go.
Or when they
over
see
there.
auntie, like, oh,
Yeah, they're like, damn. Like, if my kids cussed, if they had the freedom to cuss in front of me, I'm sure they would be like, damn it, I don't want to.
Yep. And then I'm gonna take this, like, I'm a sidebar it a little bit, like when we force kids to do things, like for me, like my family for some reason are just full of singers. Like everybody pretty much in my family can blow, but I love to blow.
In which
You
way?
know, but hold on. But when we would gather, like if my grandma and them at the base with all the kids in the base, you separate the adults from y'all kids going to base.
Yeah.
Let my grandma say, Keisha, come here. Sing that song for the. And I'm like, man.
Yes.
I love to sing though, but I don't want to do that. Like,
Yep.
put on the radio.
I was
Put on the radio.
yeah.
Sing that song. Watch her, y'all. And when you get to that note, make sure you hit it. But
Yeah.
for me, it's not like kissing it, but you're forcing something on me. I love to do it, yeah, but I don't.
You know what?
I don't want to sing
You're not
right now. I
respecting
don't
their-
know.
Childhood
Yeah.
memories. I was the one. They wanted to always see dance because I could dance.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
ass off.
yeah.
And Toya, come here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Now I know why I end up at the brass key. Because they used to give me $1, $2. My aunties
And
and
then
uncles.
with the praises
I
you
used to
would
get
get
paid
from
for
dancing.
For
dancing.
those that don't know,
Yeah.
what is the brass key?
It
It's
was
a strip bar.
It was
It
a
was
strip club back in the day. It's closed.
On Livernois.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was the one man
The
back
brass
then.
key.
And I remember one time
Yeah.
we went to the Brass Key with my cousin. She asked us to come because the dancers were competing to get a spot in there.
Okay.
And I guess when they came out and performed, then later they all had to come out and you had to judge them. So of course she asked us like, make sure y'all come in when I come.
Yeah.
But she got
Clap it
it
up.
though. She got it, but
Clap it up.
clap it up when it's time. And so we would go. I went to the Brass Key twice. Once when to get her in,
Okay.
and then a second time when she asked, like it was
get
her
her out.
very
Support.
No, it was her to support.
Support.
Yeah, it was her very first time. Yeah, so yeah, he said to get her out.
I'm gonna be looking at you because while I take off this G string.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to be uncomfortable looking at my stroke.
But I've learned that, kids are people too.
They are.
They have their own,
Everything.
boundaries.
Everything.
And
they-
I'm
they-
like,
they-
I had to learn that with the second time around. But my
Not
my
your practice
youngest,
child, huh?
yeah,
Your practice
like
child
my
enjoyed it.
oldest child, I was learning with the older.
Yeah, of course.
But now what I've learned, I'm now can apply it to the second one. But I just, I have to tell, my aunties, and then they get upset or they get, he's so disrespectful and this, that. No, my child does not have to come and hug and kiss you if that's not what he wants
Oh,
to
they
do.
consider him disrespectful.
Yeah, they
No.
consider that
No,
as a form of
We were raised like that.
disrespect or,
If nothing else, you have to speak.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no,
No,
you have
that's
to
different.
speak.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you
different.
But
still
see,
acknowledge.
that's also where a pedophile could take advantage of your child because
what-
you're making them have to do something they don't want to do.
Hold on, I'm talking about in my household.
No, I know,
or
I
at
know.
a
But
family
I'm saying,
member's
but
house.
we all had that uncle, we all had that auntie.
But see, with that thing, what it is I thought about that when y'all initially brought this up, right? When you force a child to go give this person a hug or a kiss, and you notice that or maybe you don't have the observation to notice the resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that resistance means
It
something.
could
Maybe
be
that kid had
something
already
else.
encountered
Yeah.
something with
Yeah.
that person. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
go
when you
Yeah.
have them acting that way with a specific person, like my son, he's so damn standoffish. The 17-year-old, you can barely get him to say hello or greet somebody. I'll say, "Did you say hi?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, I said it," because he's so low with it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a kid like that with a specific person, then there's definitely probably an issue.
Something definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
is
I wouldn't
wrong.
even. Because here's the thing: if there is that kid with the specific person, he doesn't want to deal with nobody
Could be.
Because he's that's
because of
true.
that particular person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I know kids know when it's time to stop.
Yeah.
And we as parents, we as Detroiters, we as black people have to understand that our kids need that freedom to grow where they want to go.
Yeah.
I ain't pointing no fingers or saying no names, Mark. But see how I snuck that in there?
Oh, you know what though?
But you know what too, and also I agree with what you're saying about that. Like that's easy for pedophilia, because just imagine your mom is making you come over and hug me. You're a little boy, and I'm touching you. Your mom don't peep that the standoff is just because something's wrong. She just you think, oh, it's a yucky hug.
And I got a
don't want
spanking
to.
for it.
And then see now when I get your child along, in the moment when I do molest them,
Yeah.
I see your mommy even knows that this is okay. That's why she made you.
You know
come
what?
hug
Now I
me.
understand my dad. I used to think he was mean. Well, he was. He was mean as fuck. I'm gonna tell you. No. Why you laughing? My daddy was so mean. He done stuck guns in our mouth. He was very
Yeah, my
abusive.
granddad.
I'm a
was
really
like
a
that.
highly.
That ain't mean,
I'm a
man.
highly abused child. But listen at this here.
That's psychotic.
But
My granddaddy was like
before it got to that point, as a younger kid, before he started beating on me, because it went from oldest to youngest. So we couldn't hug our uncles. We couldn't sit on their laps. And he had his brothers so trained, if you picked up one of his kids and hugged them and kissed them, he would knock your ass out or put you out, because he had 5 girls. My daddy has 5 girls with my mom. And I couldn't understand, like, well, when we were real little, like, we couldn't hug our uncles. We couldn't sit on their lap.
It's some shit that was going on or that happened
Or
in that
he
family.
may have
My
known
daddy did
before,
not play
too.
that shit.
Yeah.
And if my uncle sat us on their lap, they had to get the fuck out of our house. My daddy did not play that. And so he obviously, you know what, you're right, Mark. He might have, of
No,
course,
he
knew
was trying to
something.
break a chain.
Knew something that we
was
didn't
trying to
know.
break a
Protecting
generational
y'all,
curse.
And he didn't play that.
Them could have been,
Yep.
With
exactly.
that kind of wall up like that, something he was trying to prevent something from like you stop or like something happened that he
And you know,
something.
men know men. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
Or
if
that
you
part,
if
or
you
that
looking
part.
at my daughter,
Shit,
and
they was
that's
his, they was his
not-
brothers.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah. He had
Like, he
even
probably
more
knew
of an
he-
insight.
He knew what his brother had done before.
They're giving
man.
us way too
Yeah.
much credit, Maestro. We already know.
No, right, and look, but then the thing about it, my dad was not gonna be wrong. He would have never put a gun, but my dad did not, which is the reason I believe that mentally I see things when it comes to a respect level as far as where kids should be and where today's society says it's okay for them to be. But I will never forget this. There was the Contours. Remember the group, the Contours?
that's my uncle,
What's his name?
Sylvester.
Oh, it was Sylvester. Oh, and now that you say that,
Oh,
you
my
look
goodness.
like them.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You scared me.
On Rutherford, when they lived on
That's
Rutherford.
my mother's brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. We were their neighbors on Rutherford. Sylvester and my
Remember I
dad.
talk about
You know,
Detroit
both
being
my
so
cousins,
small?
Nico.
Yeah,
Remember how
Miko.
Detroit is
his
small?
daughter,
I was
Miko.
like, what in the
Miko.
Detroit Yellow Pages is
Wait
going
a
on
minute.
here?
But wait a minute. How about this? I will never forget this. Sylvester and my dad will come. Sylvester used to come over our house.
Okay.
And we had like this little dining room. You know, you come in the house and that little thing is there as soon as you walk in somebody's house. That little
Yep.
shelf thing. We had that. You had to come around. Then that's where the dining room table,
Yeah.
music, and everything was. I will never forget this. But my daddy did not. He just didn't. A child is a child, and Sylvester came over one day. He had on a pair of white Nike gym shoes. They were brand new. All I said was, Mr. Of course, we had to say
Yes.
But I said, Mr. Sylvester, your shoes are really nice. Like, I like your shoes. How much did you pay for your shoes? Oh, baby.
That was a problem.
My daddy said, it's 2 grown men in here talking. Get out of here. And don't you ever ask somebody how much they paid for something that they possess. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Stay in
just,
the
but
kid's
he
place.
did not, for one, we got your brother here, your cousins here, your mama here. This is my company.
Yeah.
And why are you not where everyone else is?
Right.
But you here
That's
in
why
front
your
of these
panties
two
be too
grown-
big when you wake up.
Girl.
Okay, that's what it is.
Okay, y'all.
Always somewhere you ain't got no business.
313-723-0481. Call
Listen,
in, y'all. 'cause
baby,
we-
if y'all
Right,
want it.
'cause-
But that is my thing about like the children. I know we've gotten a bit, for some reason it's gone in this direction
But you
today,
know what?
but
Guess what, though? I'm about to take us back.
All right, let's go back.
Because I want to talk about the first time me and my husband encountered other people in front of each other.
Say it right. We played with one another.
wow.
Not with one another, others.
Right.
In front of each other. See, so this relationship, for him, to my knowledge, you correct me if I'm wrong, and please butt in, because it's your life
he ain't
too.
saying shit.
It's your life too.
He ain't
Wait,
saying
But-
wait.
He
I
going
wanna hear
home
what
with
she gonna
you.
say first.
he had been with other women in the lifestyle, but ours was an actual relationship that he respected. So it's different now at this point because, you know, you have the woman that got your whole heart
And your wallet.
laying next to you,
And your wallet.
laying next to you
'Cause
with
he
another
a
man.
queen maker over there.
With another man. And now he laying there with another woman. So for me, you know, that was nothing. You know, it was absolutely nothing. I was so worried about how it would affect him. So one of my number one things is after every encounter, whether we're together or apart, it must be discussed.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, you're talking about the
afterwards.
result after the
Yeah.
after fact. Okay.
Yeah. How did you feel?
Hello.
The pillow talk.
Maestro, have you ever, and I'm so, everybody got to know that this question was probably going to be asked. Have you ever been together at the same time and you can tell someone is pleasuring her more than you do?
Uh-oh.
Have you ever, I'm saying knowing your wife.
Now, understand this.
Yes.
In order to be
Caution.
in a lifestyle, your
Yes.
ego must be in check. Please understand that.
Totally.
Please
Yes.
understand that.
There's no room in this game for jealousy.
Your ego has to be in check. Please understand that.
Yeah. I'm
That's
saying,
the question.
have you
Yes.
ever know, like,
Yes.
he's better? Well, you
I,
know,
well, I give you one even better. She was better.
than your wife.
No, than I was with my wife.
Or that she enjoyed it more with
My
that
wife
person.
was with another woman.
She
that
enjoyed
I
it
looked
more,
at, and
yeah.
She was
Oh, and she
pleasuring
was
very
enjoying the.
bad.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
does it matter to you when it's a woman? Like, is the ego thing
Oh,
kind
here
of?
we go. Oh, he's lying. He's lying.
Does it make a difference if it's a woman or a man? It's just the fact that someone
but
is
see,
pleasuring
listen,
her more.
at the end of the day, no, at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
Okay.
First thing is we're hunters.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
hunt.
Right.
I love
you,
that.
You guys are prey for
Yeah.
us. I mean, we'll watch for weeks, months, years.
No, notice everybody's clutching their pearls.
know.
They notice this. They're clutching their pearls.
and,
Like,
and you guys will never know. And sometimes we act on it when we feel that the opportunity is right, and then sometimes we don't. You know, sometimes it just weighs away. Okay. The other part is that once we move into hunt mode, it's not really pretty much anything you guys can do to stop us from our pursuit. once we lock in,
Like a damn lion.
yeah, once we lock in and decide that that's the one.
That's
out
it.
Out of this whole club, out of all the women that's in here, that's one right there. Bro, see that one over there? What the?
With the dick in her mouth?
Go ahead, dog, go get it. Right? Once we pursue and then once we conquer, and then now you become a trophy.
uh-oh.
Hey, there's somebody like that.
And
Okay.
you said it's a trophy for you.
Okay,
Like,
yes.
got her.
Yes.
Okay.
And you become a trophy. That's the one you put up on the mantle, you mount it,
Got
whatever
it.
the case may be. So for us, and especially in this world, in this lifestyle, for us to be able to share something that we hold so dear to us, you have to reach a certain level within yourself to know that this is just for the moment. Other than that, first thing is you're not gonna enjoy it. Second thing is, for a lot of guys, it ain't gonna happen
Uh-oh.
for the woman.
You mean that peak
See,
of
the man,
pleasure?
because of that societal, egotistical bullshit that we're groomed in as men from early on. Even in this world, we can play and do what we want to do, but y'all can't.
Oh, so is that? Oh, yeah. There's still
They try.
stipulations.
For some people.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
We have a different
However,
understanding.
So that's the same thing for polygamy. That's what. And
Well, you
Connie
have
was-
different names. You have polyandry, polygyny, polyamorous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. But what I'm saying is, when Connie made the comment about it, like all of this stuff, kind of still. The purpose is to feed the male ego almost, because
for the
the
most
women
part.
are limited
Right.
to a certain degree.
So now, for me, because again of the lifestyle that I led before I got into the lifestyle, that wasn't and isn't an area that I choose to live in now.
Okay.
So see, now the things that I do, I share in it with my wife. Okay. So now when we had the first encounter, I didn't know how I was gonna react either because I had never opened that
A
door.
door, yeah.
Because this is mine.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Right.
Right.
And so
Right.
to see her with somebody else, I was like, well, okay. See how this gonna go.
Were you self-conscious the first time too?
She was
Because
worried.
he
Hell
was
no.
watching.
I was all in. Listen, I was hoping he was having a good time because I was all in. I was hoping he was having a good time because I damn sure
and I
was.
The very first time that y'all two
So
together.
what happens is what I try to do when we're with somebody else while I'm with another him, I look at my husband dead in his eyes.
Ooh, that would be hard. That would
Yeah,
be- that would be hard.
I lock. I
So
make
you
eye
still
contact
make
with him.
contact with him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then sometimes we're close enough to where
You
he
can
can
touch
reach
him, yeah.
or grab or yeah. And so with that said, when I'm looking at him, he can read my eyes if I'm not telling him, you know what I'm saying, how much I love him or you know what I'm saying, or it is what it is. But my moment and my pleasure at the end of it all is getting to him.
This would be a good segue to say that people have to understand that you may consider yourself poly because you have that belief. You may consider yourself swinger because you have that belief. That doesn't mean that you're practicing that lifestyle every day.
No, and then what I'm about to say may shock a lot of people. And okay, I'm about to put myself out here all the time. But I used to want, my husband didn't want to. He just flat out did not want to. I used to try to be like, well, babe, look, we're going to go out of town. And we'll go visit a strip bar. See which one we can to come back with us. But I didn't want to involve myself. I just wanted to record it. But I really need you to start brains
wanted to
out.
watch.
Let me record
Ooh,
it. And then when we come back home, we'll watch that tape for our entertainment. He did not want to do that.
Oh, that sounds so
He
fun.
did not want to
We're
do
both
that.
taking notes. We're like,
he was
okay,
like, man, I
what's,
don't want to be with nobody
listen.
else. I swear.
Maybe he thought that was a setup. Maybe he thought it was a setup. Like, she trying to say this shit too good to be true. She gonna get like, oh, you really want to do that shit?
Like,
No,
I'm not.
but I promise you, he knew that I was for real. And then he would
I'm
always
sure he
say,
did.
but what I'm saying is he used to be like, babe, if you want me to, just at the end of the day, okay. But for me, I really don't want to do that. You know?
I probably would have been so
All right,
excited
wait.
that
Maestro got
my
something to
relationship
say.
would have ended.
Go ahead, Maestro.
Like, you know what?
Like, oh yes, let's do it right now. Like,
Right
nigga,
now.
what?
You
Yeah.
gotta wait till we go out of town.
Well,
I mean,
why wouldn't she expect you not to be excited? I mean,
You put it on the
shit.
table.
Yeah,
You put it on the
no,
table.
that's what she's saying. So I would expect you to be excited.
So
but
that's
he
not a
did
setup.
he did not want to
Yeah.
do that.
Did he ever say why?
Because he only wanted to be with me. I promise you, that's what he
That
said.
makes sense. I mean, you're a beautiful woman. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we could have found a beautiful woman out there.
So listen,
Then you
Here you go.
I actually enjoy watching her being
Yes.
pleasured by somebody. I'd be amazed.
And he would say stuff like, I'm not going to be able to get into it. Like,
So you
just-
don't knock it until you try.
I love
Yeah.
it. I'd be like, hey, I'd be learning.
So it
some stuff.
arouses
gotta
you,
feel it.
It
though.
does,
It
yes.
arouses you, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
does.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I
Well, no,
also
no.
like. Look,
It's
I was
A
just,
woman.
It arouses me, but what gets me more is that she's fucking incredible.
Oh shit! We
She's fucking incredible.
We going
She-
into
He like
details.
watching her. and shit.
We going into details.
So for those that don't know,
And what
she's
she
about to give you her
does.
Facebook name.
Listen here, this is a dangerous weapon I got right here.
What's her Facebook name?
Toya Super Soaker Jones.
Man. Now, for
I
those that
love
don't
it,
know what a
Mom.
super soaker is,
You know
it's a
what.
very powerful weapon.
Oh
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
squirt like crazy.
Very powerful squirt gun.
Now, don't get me wrong. You consider super soaker like from the squirting. Like for
Yes.
me, I'm just naturally just a super soaker.
I was given that name in the lifestyle. So everybody
Oh,
has a
wow.
lifestyle name. And once I went there, everybody was like, that's it, Super Soaker.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
that's
I've,
what it's
like
called.
far and in between will squirt. Like far and in between, but from what I've been told, and then I can tell myself too, because like I'm the type of person I have to be mentally aroused. Once I'm there, and in all fairness to him, and like the partner that I have right now, like I would tell him, like to be fair to him, like, ooh, let me go wipe off. Because she is really, babe, you put your face down here. It is.
That's why he ain't want nobody else.
And then the thing about it, he'll say, no, let me clean it off. Let me, but I'm talking about
You want to wipe it
So
off?
I wonder,
Because it'd be so
did your husband not want to do that because did he think somewhere down the line you're gonna want to be with
No,
somebody
but see,
because
no,
like it's a trade off?
we had that full conversation.
Communication.
We had the full conversation, and no, I didn't want to be with anybody else. Period. Like that thought.
So
about
why does
me
that bother you
engaging-
about him? You just literally.
Because I was just thinking of the fact that he's a man,
And she
I
likes to watch
figured that
porn
he would-
anyway.
Yeah, but
we
she likes to watch
porn
gay porn.
together. No. I just started watching gay porn, but I'm talking about.
Don't act like I ain't over here
Look
paying
at Mark.
close
No,
notes. Like
back
I'm over
when
here like
we were together, like we watched our porn together.
I'm gonna be a
We
toe
did- don't
sucking,
get me
porn
wrong.
sucking, that kind of guy, you know.
We watched our porn together and everything. You know, don't get me wrong. We were our freaks in our own little way. Now, don't get me wrong, and no, not to my husband, God rest his soul, but I do now, since he's been passed and I've engaged with someone else, he was lacking in certain,
Okay, but that's all you had.
Yeah,
So
and don't
when-
get me
when
wrong,
that's all
I
we
didn't
had-
know that we,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was at like, damn,
But it was great to you
this happened during sex.
because that's all you had.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, I didn't know,
But-
and
but
no, not to my baby.
While we're sort of on the subject, please explain to me, for those that are listening, because I'm going to play this back 3 or 4 times this week. This concept
afraid
of
of-
actually soaking, of actually squirting, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's pee, and I'm like, well, I mean, literally, they have stopped me
I've had this.
in the middle
Yeah,
of having
and
sex.
no, but wait a minute.
I
I
gotta
want to
go
answer
pee.
this for you, but no, this is the thing too. The very first time I ever squirted though was with the rose. I thought I peed on myself. That's what I thought. When they say it's pee, yeah, because when I did it, like and then the thing about it just came out. I
The
couldn't
sad
even
part is
catch
the rose just
But that's
came out
how I
like 2 years
discovered-
ago.
Yeah, yeah, and so the
I'm
thing
sad
about it
that.
is like when it happened, like it just came out. And so I kind of stopped, like, oh, damn, I peed on myself.
That's
because
how-
I thought
that's how I
exactly
discovered.
what it fit.
Yep.
It's pee.
So it comes from the same place.
It does, and it feels like you're peeing.
What happened? Not for me. Not for me.
In her mind, it
Probably-
ain't even close.
And see, that's because I have total control over it. Like I can
Okay.
squirt right now if I wanted to.
Oh, you can. Okay.
I have total control.
Hand me the window.
Clean
Let's
up
prove
on mic
this.
3. Clean up on mic 3.
Hand me the, I'll be the
Yeah,
cleanup
okay.
guy. I'll be the cleanup guy.
Listen.
We're going to go live for real. Let's do
So
this.
what it is it comes from the same place as
Glad I
urine.
wore
Yes, it
underwear
does.
today.
You have.
It's the same place and the same feeling.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Mine's typically come, but when it's at its best, it's in the middle of an orgasm. When
Yeah.
you can squirt in the middle of an orgasm, you have reached a plateau of.
Look at my
sex,
show though. Look
you
at
know.
he got thirsty on that one.
But
He
you
ain't
ha-
stopped drinking.
Let
all
me
that.
just tell for you ladies out there,
Uh-huh.
pee before you have sex.
Yeah.
Because if you
And
don't,
after.
it will mix. Squirting is not yellow. It is clear. It's tasteless and it's odorless.
Oh,
If
no,
your
there's a taste
if
to
your
it. There's a taste
squirt
to it.
comes out, there has no taste. There is no taste in a squirting session.
Yeah.
If you taste
My straw, I'm gonna have to
anything,
prove her wrong.
it's mixed with urine if you taste anything. So go empty your bladder first. And if you're squirting after that, then no, it is not pee. It is clear, odorless, and tasteless.
And it feels that way because it comes through the same channel.
Yes,
That's
the
why it feels
same
like you're
exact
peeing.
channel.
Soup, have
And
you
for
ever
boys
had?
that don't know, there's 3 holes to a woman.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Please,
yes,
please
for those
educate
who don't
them.
know.
So I just-
Yeah.
Please
yes, it
educate.
is.
Yeah. The men are here like number one.
The first hole is
Elaborate.
Yeah.
So the first hole is the vaginal canal. That's where the baby comes out. That's where we, menstruate, all that. That comes out of there. Then you have the pee hole where we pee out of and squirt.
in the yep.
For those that have the ability to do so. And then the third is a butthole. It's the butthole. Okay. So there's 3 holes, man.
Well, 4 if you count the mouth.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
I
forgot
do
the
know.
mouth. Yeah.
You know.
Let's not forget
And
the
Soup,
fourth.
have you ever had the experience of squirting? Or do
I
you
have
want-
not. I have
You've
not been able to.
I'm gonna contain myself on that one.
No, yeah.
So I'm
And
about
then
to-
don't get
want
me
me to give
wrong,
y'all a
just
quick
as
lesson?
me, like
Give her
the
a quick
last
lesson.
Let me
year
give y'all
or
a
so.
quick
There are women
squirting
that are gonna
lesson.
help you.
A very, I'm pretty sure you could do it. You just don't know it yet.
Okay.
The muscle, ladies, listen. Keep your ears wide open. So that muscle, that Kegel muscle, you're squeezing that Kegel, not your coochie hole,
Your Kegel muscle.
muscle.
Yeah.
When you squeeze your Kegel muscle tight enough, you'll feel your urethra close down, your pee hole. Let me just be clear. You're going to squeeze and hold that. And hold it really tight as you can while you're having sex. or playing with yourself, whichever you prefer. I prefer you practice this with a toy because you'll perfect it and then you'll learn how to do it because it's difficult to do it with a dick in you. Let me just say that.
Okay.
So then you squeeze in
Big
that Kegel muscle, and when you get ready to have your orgasm or in the middle of your orgasm, open that Kegel muscle up. Just imagine like a flower blooming all the way open. Mm-hmm. You want to open that Kegel muscle up all the way from the inside out. Your pussy is going to feel like in your mind is opening like this lotus flower, right? That's when you squirt.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
How about that?
You have to open that muscle up.
You feel the rain?
Open the muscle.
And then, like, for me, like, for mine, you know, not to be too personal,
late for
but
that
it's like so closed up. You know, even after, it's been like this my whole life.
So practice right now. Squeeze that Kegel muscle.
Right
ladies.
now.
No, I know, and then the thing about it,
Even
I
the
do
ladies
my
listening.
Kegels. I do
Listen.
my Kegels.
If
I
you
do my
squeeze it
Kegels.
though right now, really, really tight from the inside of your stomach down to that muscle in your Kegel.
Ladies, on 3.
You should feel it right now.
2.
Y'all, and I know they
She's
feel
doing it. She's
No,
doing
I
it.
can, yeah.
You feel
Yeah,
it?
there you got to.
If you feel it, now if you open that all the way up right now, if
See, I
you
feel
can do
like I gotta
that,
pee when I do that.
if you do that in the middle of
I
an
feel like I
orgasm,
gotta pee.
but make sure your bladder is clear.
Yeah.
You've already peed. You know what I'm saying? All the urine, the yellow part, the stuff in the urine that makes it
Okay,
taste
that's 6 people I got to
and,
show
and
this
smell
video to.
is gone. If you do that and open it up in the middle of your orgasm, you're gonna squirt.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Okay, that's
Squirting
$6.95.
101.
Because my squirting has always been brought on. I've never known how to.
$$sign what
Yeah,
we will
so-
Detroit. Yes,
Yeah,
But you now you
Cash
feel
App
you got
that.
control.
Yeah, because that's
What
why I
you do?
exercise
Yeah.
my Kegels, you know, like
Look at
that.
her. Look at
And
Toya
then for
smiling.
me, like when I do my Kegels, mine is more during my meditating spiritual type thing. That's when
Do
I
you?
Yeah, I do
Ooh,
it
I
then.
can never.
Yeah, I do it then. Yeah,
I would
when
be
I'm
focused on the wrong
meditating and when
thing.
you know what.
Because I be ready to let go.
You know what? Yeah, right.
Ain't mad at you though.
Yeah, that's when I do my Kegel exercises when I, you know, or what have you.
Meditation.
During my meditation. Yeah. not just
So
like
now, yes, we're going to do it during meditation.
Guys, okay, and we're gonna ask one more question, and again, we're gonna close it out on this, and it's pretty much piggybacking from the question that we were asked before we went into the Kegel thing, the between Toya and Maestro. So you guys, and how long? Married for 6 years.
7.
7. Right,
Just got me
we
together.
were correct. It's exact. Right. 7 years, and you guys have been involved in this lifestyle since you've been together.
Yes.
And the very first experience that you have watching each other, there were no feelings of.
I was totally turned on. I was totally turned on.
By the person you were with.
No. By watching him.
Oh, okay. That's okay. And so for you,
Was she
Maestro, you're saying the same thing. You were totally turned on from this. So there's never been, all the time that you guys have been together in this relationship, that
Never been any
you've
awkwardness.
Yeah.
Or
Never.
No.
How about? Well, that was meant.
I got
It
questions,
really was.
though.
I mean, to be able to, that was meant.
I
You
got
know,
it.
because I
No,
couldn't
wait a
even
minute.
think
And he
about.
said-
I got
said-
questions.
And what I mean by that is, even if I was in the relationship, if my husband was still here, and that is the kind of relationship that we lived, I would honestly wouldn't be able to sit here and say, and I don't get me wrong, mature enough not to bring it up or throw it in his face. I would deal with that myself. But still, to the point, I would have to admit that in the back of my mind when I'm alone, like if I saw another woman, like, damn, she looked, you know, out of bed. Like it would
Yeah.
really be in the back. So you guys don't even have wandering thoughts after the fact.
No, because that's the part of the communication that is most
I
important.
mean, when you say wandering, what do you mean?
Like what? Like I said, like say Bay's at work and I'm just at home and I'm sitting. We had an encounter the night before, and I could tell like she was Bay's toes was curled, baby. I mean, like really. And so now we're done. We're over with. I would never bring it up because of course that's what we do. I understand that.
Right.
But I'm at home. I'm washing my dishes, and in the back of my head, I'm really thinking like she was. You know,
But that's what I would say to
bad.
him. I say that to him.
No, I would
Yeah.
say it to him, but
Yeah.
I would still be thinking
Oh,
to myself.
well, the afterthought.
like,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the afterthought is
That's
always
automatic.
great.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
there is that. So you have said like, damn, he was on my wife.
because you
Yeah.
did, you,
Okay.
you said that
Wait,
you guys
I
had
got-
to
I
have a
got- I got-
conversation
yeah.
after.
I mean, that's
yeah, after
automatic.
the session.
But it doesn't linger
I got that one question.
No.
to the point of effect.
This,
Oh,
this
that's what I
question
mean.
is from Maestro.
Okay.
So when Daddy Longstroke show up and he just puts it on, and he's 2 times bigger than you, like just that long, that wide, what does that do for you though? Because you know
Nothing. Yeah.
I'm confident enough in my little bit that keeps her happy.
Right.
Okay.
Which it obviously
Because obviously
has
it's
to.
enough,
And then
right.
the thing about it, and what I see it as, I mean, excluding all the sexual and the everything, I do feel like you guys we really love each other. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what trumps everything.
And we so
else.
opposite.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow.
He's so laid back. I'm a live
I
wire.
can see that.
Yeah,
I
we
can see that. Yeah, I can see
Definitely.
that. Yeah, and that's another thing that made me pose the question. Like, have you ever felt? Because she seems like if she's with someone and you're watching, like she for real, like, and then you're more so. When I'm with a woman, I'm more.
Oh no,
With
he
someone.
turns up.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh no, he turned up in the bedroom.
Okay.
So let me ask you a
Yeah, he
question.
a totally
another
different
one.
person in that bedroom.
Okay.
Shit.
When the young lady is much prettier than you, much thinner than you, bigger titties, bigger ass.
He say nothing.
I'm more turned on than he is bad.
How about
Okay.
that? love
I
it.
go for her.
I love. Hey.
That's when I hunt.
I love. And
So
see,
now-
that's what I was trying to explain about what I wanted from my
I don't
husband.
get jealous.
Like, I really no. I just
Not of no other woman looking better than me. I'm not the best
I've
looking
never
woman
had
out
that
here.
complex,
You
yeah.
know, and I don't worry about like if he is
So
more
this is when you do this though. This is-
attracted
this
to
is
her
what I
than
got.
he is.
I got
I've
the
never
ring.
had that. Yeah, I've never had that.
I mean, but it
now,
never even comes down to that because that's not the world that we live in. That's not the world that we live in
Right.
our environment. Not so much as the lifestyle world, but just between us. Our relationship is so on the table that we trip over it sometimes.
How about that? Yeah, and
So-
I will admit
Now,
that that's
you know,
how
this
it.
this
have
feels
to
more
worry.
slim philosophy. I gotta write this.
No, but the thing about
But that
too
the
is-
relationship is more than just
That's
sex.
what I'm saying. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
What they have is more,
More
than
than
just.
sex.
Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, I think we wasn't live yet when I said this is September, right? We have not engaged with anybody this year.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
That goes back to what I was saying.
it's not every day.
Yeah.
Now we do have moments where we may have that one or that two, and it's so good we go down through there for a while, you know. But if it dies down, you know.
Yeah.
We got normal
it's
life
us.
shit like
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
And this is just our preference for sex. Like,
Yeah.
this
Well,
is
it's not
like
even a
what you
preference.
got
It's
you.
what you're aware of. You're aware of, and it's open to you when you decide to do it as a couple.
Yeah.
You know, because I got yelled at Facebook, like, why are you talking about poly if you're not even in a relationship? And I'm like,
But you've lived it, right?
but I lived
It's
it, I learned it,
experience.
And I enjoyed the experience
I was
I had.
educated about it.
Yeah.
I learned the rules.
You taught me some stuff.
You know, so that way
sure did last
we'll
time,
be able to
didn't
put it together. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna, it's been a year, 9 months that we've actually gone swinging. But I'm not opposed to it. I'm for it, and I see it working for us.
Yeah.
But theoretically, if you were to talk to somebody yesterday, they wouldn't consider you swingers, other than your mindset, because you're not living the lifestyle, which is weird to me. It's like,
I think it has something to do too with the kids being in the house. You know what I'm saying? We have 17-year-old, and we got custody of our 2 grandkids. Now, when they're away, when we were more engaged, they would be away.
but I
summer.
was always under the impression that swinging was done at a different place.
No, not all the time.
Okay.
When you have a specific
You have a
one or two,
particular- yeah.
when you have a particular someone or two that we engage with, then because there's always not a swinging party. Let me say that swinger parties typically only happen once a month. I'm not about to wait once a month to know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So we have maybe a specific person or two that we trust.
Of not waiting. So let's talk about some of the rules because we didn't go over the rules of swinging.
Right. Everybody has individual rules though.
Okay.
So ours, we have our own set of standards. And that's pretty much, we don't shit. Condoms, definitely. Protection, let me say
Sexual
that.
health, right?
Yeah, protection. I have asked, like, the last person we engaged with, I did ask her to go get tested. And she went with no problem. I was so happy. She was actually happy to go because she was like, shit, I'm straight.
At least that would
Here
probably
you go.
have her more comfortable too. That you guys required.
She was
that.
very
Yeah,
comfortable.
Yeah.
And
Maestro, I get tested every 3 months. Just like that. Put that out there.
Guys,
You know?
Hey, that to your file.
he can go. You know.
And wait, babe, on that note, that's it, guys. That is our time. Oh,
All
my
right.
goodness. That application has just took another step further
Okay.
to the
This was a
completion
great show.
process. You hear me? You hear me?
Put it on your resume.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Maestro, Toya, thank you guys for coming on and sharing with us, being open with us, and actually allowing us to be a little more enlightened on actually what the details
Yeah.
of, how
Thanks
much
for
more
having
in
us.
depth that this actually goes. Thank you guys so
I had
very
fun.
much. We appreciate every time. Every time, Toya, every time, baby. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for the questions that other people were thinking and, you asked
Yes.
the ones who were watching and
Yes, darling. Yes.
just every
Look,
time.
you asked me to come.
I did.
You know
I
what
did.
you,
I do.
You know
I
what
do.
you came
And
up
I
with.
do. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I thank you for delivering.
I will put this out as a disclaimer. We are not the governing authorities on how this works.
No. I know. Yeah, I got you.
I just want
yeah.
to put that out there.
Yeah.
You know we're
I
going
got
to get
you.
another 30 minutes out of that. Just
Well,
No,
I'm
we
just
gotta go.
saying, we just,
Just put
you
the
know,
money on the table.
sharing or letting you guys come into our world.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
see it, through our eyes, our
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
and our perspective.
And I would prefer to have interviewed a couple actually, aside from the sexual explicits and anything like that, the way you guys love each other. I
Thank
would have
you.
preferred to, speak with a couple with that mentality and then discuss the world versus two people who just we doing
Right.
Then you get in the car, you ain't have to say that like that.
At that point,
You
it's
know,
just
I mean,
opinions.
it was just opinions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to actually get that deep, in-depth insight in it from two people who actually love each other and engage in a lifestyle that some people may, needed a little enlightenment on, or people were even thinking about. Thank y'all.
You're
Thank
welcome.
y'all.
No
Thank
problem.
y'all. And Mark, every time, King.
Every
We
time.
All right.
appreciate you. Thank you so very much for everyone who tuned in today. Website, YouTube, Facebook. We appreciate you guys following. Thank you so much for continuing to support. And you reading something, Mark?
No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much for
Yeah, I give
continuing.
it up
thought
for
somebody
Keith.
was
Give it up for
saying-
Keith.
Thank
Keith.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys next Sunday. Again, thank my entire panel for tuning in to the Making Them Think podcast, where we think outside the block. We'll see you next Sunday.
Are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7